steel cage match, Johnny Gargano taking on Bronson Reed, so very much looking forward to that. We've also got Zoey Stark taking on Toni Storm. We've got the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, is in the house tonight. We've also got an interview with Pete Dunne. So very much looking forward to seeing, is this going to be like a sit-down interview? Is he going to maybe not shout like he normally does? I'm quite interested to see how they're going to present that, to be honest. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the $1 Million Man. Zoey Stark I absolutely love, and a steel cage match is always fun. So, yeah, honestly, the card for tonight, it's they haven't announced like loads of stuff, but I'm definitely into what's been announced. So, very much looking forward to NXT. Obviously, it always gets the taste of Raw out of our mouths as well, which is only a good thing. A lot of the reviews that I saw for last night, people laying into it as expected. And I must admit, I was watching the Shawn Michaels documentary earlier, and it's really good. It's quite dark, in all fairness. I mean, it really focuses on, like, his drug addiction and just, like, how bad of a person he was. Like, it's not really a hit job or anything, because obviously he's a part of it, and he's, talking about what he was like as a person. But really gives you a glimpse behind the scenes of, how difficult he was to work with. Even Vince saying that there was a few times he wanted to, punch him and lash out at him because he'd just gone too far. He wound Vince up numerous times. And it's really interesting. But one of the things that I saw was 2010, that moment where Bret Hart calls out Shawn Michaels at Raw, and Shawn comes down. And, Bret's like, we need to put this all behind us. And you've got, like, these two legends in the ring, shaking hands, kind of making up 13 years later after the Montreal Screwjob. And it's such a moment. And you look at it and you go, wow, there is nothing on Raw like that right now. That not even that star power. Like, you've got Shawn, you've got Bret, you've got this historic moment. I understand that's a real significant moment, but I don't know, I was just looking at it and I was like, that there's just nothing like that now. There's no one around like that. I mean, even if they brought Becky back, I'm not sure that it would feel like that big. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. They haven't got the star power that they had before. And obviously I think they recognise that, and that's why they tried to build up Drew. But, I don't know, man. I don't know what they're going to do. I have heard some rumours that they are looking to bring Brock and John Cena back for SummerSlam. But, those are just rumours at this stage, to be honest. But I do feel that Raw really does need a bit of star power. I mean, maybe it's there, but it's just being hidden a little bit. We spoke about AJ, we spoke about Randy Orton. They're on the show, but they're just both in tag teams at the moment. Maybe we need to free them up a bit. I don't know. I really like RK Bro though, so I definitely wouldn't do anything there. But yeah, I just thought it was really interesting. I was just watching back on some of these great Raw moments, and I felt it again. That feeling when you're watching something important and significant and of pro wrestling. I felt it. I felt like my passion. Because, I'm sure you guys have been the same, Monday after Monday after Monday. It can wear you down, man. It can wear you down. I think there's quite a few wrestling fans that are feeling a little bit burnt out right now. But, no, it was great to go back and see some of them great Raw moments. That Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels one where they make up in particular. I don't know why that one in particular spoke to me, but it did. And just shows where we are now to where we've been at times. So fingers crossed that improves anyway over the coming months as fans return. And maybe we get some big names back. But it is NXT tonight. And as I said, I'm very much excited by that. And it is worth saying as well that Shawn Michaels biography is really, as I said, very good. They actually get Marty Jannetty on. and they talked to Marty Jannetty, which I wasn't sure they were going to do, because obviously Marty Jannetty is quite controversial. He's spoken out on social media and been quite controversial, but they did have him sit down and like talk about the early years with the Rockers and how important the Rockers were, and there's some great footage away from WWE. Some really good stuff, and like you hear from his mum and dad, and obviously you hear loads from Triple H, but you hear from Shawn as well, and it just kind of goes through his whole career. But as I said, it focuses a lot on his drug addiction and just how awful of a person he was. Something that was quite interesting, he said when he won the World Championship, he said, the boyhood dream has come true. It's so interesting to hear Shawn say, and I've never heard this before, Shawn said that when he got the belt, he was like, oh, is this it? Isn't that weird? I find that so strange, because I always think of that moment as the boyhood dream has come true, and he's on his knees, and it's the absolute pinnacle, and he could not be happier, and it's the greatest thing ever, and all this kind of stuff. And it's so weird to hear him say, it was around that time I was thinking, is this it? Is this all it is? And it was kind of a bit of an insight into what he was like as a person, I was really surprised by that bit. Eric Defcon Prime Dirigi said, Days, can you rate my custom Captain Marvel Johnny Gargano on Twitter? Can I rate your custom Johnny Gargano on Twitter? I'll have a look. Have you just sent it through? Oh, apparently as well, Leo has been in touch. I know there's many out there that want to know how Leo is getting on. And he did, well, I say he did. The's always a question mark over these things, isn't there? Because I don't know 100% that it's actually him. But someone claiming to be Leo says that it went well and that they went to McDonald's as well. I mean, look, if that is true, that is how you treat a lady. Yeah, you take them to KFC and then you take them to McDonald's straight after. Do you know what I mean? I mean, we all know he had 20 quid in his pocket. He's like, you have whatever you want. Yeah, she's gone, I'll have some popcorn chicken. I'll have a drink. Yeah, they've sat down. They've had a great chat. And he's like, I've got a surprise. Come with me. Straight over the road, straight into McDonald's. Anything you want. That is how you treat a lady. He is going to be a lady killer, man. He is going to be a lady killer. I don't see it, but did you send it through recently? Eric, try and tag me in it again. Tag me in it again, or send it over, and I'll have a look. But I can't see it in my recent DMs or my recent notifications. Let's go down. McDonald's for dessert. That was the surprise, wasn't it? She was there. She's like, "Oh, chicken's great, but I wish we had a great dessert." And he's like, "Come with me." Yeah, I know a place. I know a place. Don't tell everyone about this, but I know a special restaurant. I know a chain of restaurants. Have you ever heard of a McFlurry? What a ledge. Don't bring a date to McDonald's. Go on a picnic. Yeah, but he did the double. He did the KFC McDonald's combo. I mean, that is a legend move. Harley said, Days, WWE might set up Belair versus Bayley in a hair versus hair match. I wouldn't mind, because a bald Bayley would be funny. But also Bayley wanting to get rid of Belair's hair makes sense. That would make sense. That would make sense. Jennifer, shout out to you. Days, who do you think, you are kidding, Mr. Hitler, will be Roman's next opponent at Hell in a Cell? As I feel like WWE will hold fire on Edge till SummerSlam and wait until fans are back. So I don't know who it will be. Well, I also don't know who it will be, but I'm sure we'll get a better idea on Friday. I would say the three front runners could be Edge, could be Jimmy Uso, or we do Cesaro again. So I think it looks very likely that it'll be one of those 3. But with Cesaro, probably, potentially, still in that feud with Seth, then maybe it narrows it down to Jimmy and Edge. So that would be my picks. Scroll down. Days, what are your thoughts on Bronson Reed and how WWE would handle him creatively? I like Bronson Reed. I feel like there's something missing for him, though, because he's a big guy and he's got a great entrance thing. And I think in like a Thunderdome, that would look awesome with him walking through the buildings and everything. It looks great. But I don't know what Bronson Reed represents, and I know that's a strange thing to say, but I kind of feel like there's got to be, he's just a guy, he's just a big guy, and that's it. Like when I think of Bam Bam Bigelow, I think of the tattoos, and I think of like a bit of an attitude, and I think of the flames, and he had a very iconic ring attire. Again, when I think about Vader, I mean, he had like one of the most iconic ring attires with the black and the red, and obviously the mask and the entrance attire. And obviously he was a beast in Japan as well, New Japan, and he was so agile for a big guy. But what was special back in the early 90s is not that special now. There's a lot of agile big guys, and Bronson Reed is one of those. So what makes Bronson Reed stand out? What makes Bronson Reed more special than, say, a Keith Lee or a Kevin Owens? Like, what is Bronson Reed? Who is Bronson Reed? What does he represent? I still don't know. I don't know. I kind of feel like they need to give him a personality. He's not very charismatic. I don't know much about him as a person. I don't know what he's fighting for. You know, what's his background? Has he got a family and all this kind of stuff? I kind of feel like I need to know more about Bronson Reed. And I also think if you're a big guy, you should have some pretty iconic ring attire. And I know he actually copied like the Vader look for a while. I don't know what his ring attire now is, actually. His ring attire might be alright. I'll have a look tonight. I can't quite remember, which isn't a great point, is it? I should be able to remember. So, yeah, I like his entrance. I think he can work in the ring. I don't think him as an in-ring worker is a problem. There's got to be something that you can give Bronson Reed that makes him stand out. There's got to be something, because right now, he's one of the pack. And I'm looking forward to the match. Cage match. Spotlight is on him. He's going to have a great-looking entrance, as always. He's going to put on a good match, as always. But there's got to be more than that if you want to make it. Now, he might be alright when he goes to the main roster, because we know Vince likes bigger guys. So he's going to have Vince on his side. You know, Vince will look after him. But I just think, like, you need a bit more. In this day and age, you need a bit more. So, I like him, but I want more. I heard they're making new entrance stages for Raw and SmackDown. Yeah, I heard that. Retribution said, Days, sorry I couldn't make it last night for Raw as I fell asleep early, but guess I never missed much when I checked the highlights. No, you didn't. Leo! Woo! It is Leo, look. Leo, 1, 2, 3. I mean, look, you've got to think, it's going to be hard for someone to steal that picture and recreate that account. So I'm guessing this is the real deal, guys. I think Leo is in the house. I think Leo is in the house. Days, it is me on Twitter. Thanks for following me. Are we friends? Absolutely. But we need more info, Leo. Leo, the community want to know. Did you use any of the chicken jokes? Did you sing Candy Shop, Leo? Did you sing Candy Shop? Tell me you didn't, Leo. Tell me you didn't. Although, saying that, if you took her to McDonald's after, was she impressed? Did the conversation flow? Give us deets, dude. Give us deets. Yeah? You've got a lot of people in this chat right now that want to know what's going down in Leo Town. How did Leo's date go? We're finding out, literally. Leo wasn't around last night, so we're finding out live. Days, who was your favourite giant ever in WWE, WWF? Andre, easy, buddy. No one's ever come close. But in all fairness, no one's ever been booked as well as what Andre was. So Andre was special, and he was treated as special. And no one else has really been treated as special, which is such a shame. I mean, you don't get people of Andre's size all that often. I mean, you're talking, Great Khali, Big Show, Giant Gonzalez. The problem is that two of those couldn't wrestle. Obviously, Big Show could, though. And I know Big Show very disappointed about how he was used in his career. He spoke out about that on the Broken Skull sessions with Steve Austin. So I think Andre is my favourite because Andre's booking was the best. And it's because at the time, you never knew when you was going to see him, basically. Obviously, there was no internet. And, you'd watch your local wrestling. So, if you're in Florida, you'd be watching Florida Championship Wrestling, something like that. And Andre would come into the territory. He would come into your area because someone needed some help. And it'd be like, oh, Andre the Giant is here. Like, he was a worldwide known star. He was a massive star. So if he was on TV, it was huge. If he was in your area, like you bought tickets and you went to see him, and they didn't have him doing silly comedy or have him losing matches and turning face, turning heel, all this kind of stuff. They treated him as the main event star. Out he would come. Everyone would be like in shock and awe. You'd get to see him perform. He might take a couple of bumps or something, and on the rarest of occasions, super rare, he might even let the opponent slam him. On the rarest of occasions. There's plenty of people that did slam him over the years. It was obviously made out that no one ever had, I think, at WrestleMania 3. And Hogan obviously picks him up and slams him at WrestleMania 3. But the truth is that plenty of people had. There was footage doing the rounds not long ago of Kamala doing it. There's footage of Kamala slamming Andre. So Andre was this just a larger-than-life hero, icon, legend, and attraction. And he was just protected and booked as exactly that. But obviously it was a different time because he could just do that exact same thing in just different areas. Because it was a different time. Like, there was no internet or anything like this. I mean, these days, if you saw, like, Andre the Giant all the time, you would have to mix it up, wouldn't you? You wouldn't be able to do the exact same thing with Andre or every single week. So, it was a different time. It was a different era. He could get away with, largely working the same thing. Come in, help the local babyface, or be used as a surprise entry in a battle royal. Those kind of things. And he just went around the world doing that. But he was protected, and he's very important as a result. I remember the Vader-Sting feud over the World Heavyweight Championship, says Jeremy. Leo said, Days, I've sent you a message on Twitter. I tell you, I'm... okay. Has it got info or something? I told her a chicken joke and I almost sang Candy Shop. Fair play, bud. Fair play. So you did tell... Which chicken joke was it? Which chicken joke was it? I need to know which one you went with. You told her that... I love this. I love the fact that you told her a chicken joke. I hope she found it funny. You told her a chicken joke. You almost sang Candy Shop, but you didn't, and I respect that. I respect the fact that you was able to stop yourself. And I'm telling you, you listen to Uncle Days. That was the right decision. There we go. There's, I don't know if it's going to show because of the green screen. I think it will. Sometimes blue struggles. But there we go. There's Eric Defcon's Johnny, which is very cool. Very impressive. Excellent work. I mean, I'd have no idea if that looks like Captain America, because I've never seen Captain America. But isn't it a woman? I think it's a woman, isn't it? No. That's Captain Marvel, isn't it? They're all the same. So, there we go. Excellent job, though. It looks like a really cool figure. I'm surprised Mattel haven't made one like that, actually. Well done. Right. Days, did you see some guy attempt to break into Derek Lewis's truck? And unfortunately, Lewis caught him and knocked him. I did not see this. Derek Lewis knocked out someone that tried to steal his truck. That is moody, man. Could you imagine? Imagine you try and break into someone's truck and then you turn around and you see Derek Lewis walking towards you and there's no way of running away or getting out of there and you're just like, knew I should have been a nursery teacher. Harry Richards says, Days, seeing as Harry Kane has asked to leave Spurs, in your personal opinion, where do you... Personally, I don't see us United signing him. Or Chelsea, I think it will be City. I think it's really difficult. I don't think United will sign him because that's a lot of money. And honestly, he's not what we need. He's going to make our team better, but we 100 million % need a centre-back. We need a central defensive midfielder. I would say those are our two priorities, even over Sancho. I would love Sancho, but I think we need a centre-back. We need a central defensive midfielder. Like world-class in both areas. Yeah, not they will do. World-class in both areas. If we end up spending over 100 million on both of those players, so be it. Those are the two areas that we need. And then you got Jadon Sancho that's going to come in at like 70-odd million. So without breaking a sweat, you could easily be spending 170, 200 million without Kane, right? And then Kane's going to be 150. So unless we've got 350 million just chilling during a pandemic, I would have to think it unlikely. Now, I do understand that might mean that we don't get the other couple of players, which I think would be a disaster. Also, we could sell some players, but honestly, we're going to raise, 50 million at most? So, your 350 would come down to 300 by selling some players? I mean, you're not going to get that much for Lingard and De Gea. I mean, De Gea maybe 30, Lingard maybe 20, and then maybe, I don't know, 10 for Dalot, or I don't know. I really don't see like much money being generated from sales. So, yeah, I mean, if we go for Kane, I think it destroys our transfer plans. So, I don't think United get him. They might move for him because he'd be such a big name and they'd sell so many shirts and it might be a name that pleases some fans. But I got to be honest, I mean, yeah, I would love to see him in a United shirt, but he's 28. He has a couple of injuries. He's going to cost a ton of money. It's so hard, though, because I would love him. Who wouldn't love him? Of course I would love him. Of course I would love him. But I'm loving Cavani as well. Did you see Cavani's goal today? Woo! So, yeah, Chelsea, I don't know if they're going to spend that money, but they might. I mean, they were looking at Messi, and so Messi is serious money. They need to replace Aguero. They've got to know that a striker is not going to be available. You know, a world-class striker is going to be 100 mil plus. So maybe they've got the budget for it. Chelsea will always be in for that, but I don't think Tottenham will sell to Chelsea. I don't think they'll sell. So I don't think I think Chelsea might come in with a bid, but I'm not sure that Tottenham will sell. I think City lightly, Chelsea second lightly. I think United about fourth, because I think you could probably throw in PSG ahead of United. I don't think he's coming to United. I don't think he's coming to United at all. But we'll be linked to him till he actually moves. Mouldy Spoon said, Days, my dad showed me an old episode of Rainbow. Used to love that. And they were talking about playing with each other's twangers. And apparently Jeffrey has a massive twanger. As a kid, I was so blind to how funny it is. I loved it. I loved Rainbow. It was maybe the number one kid show that I watched when I was young. Like, the number one show. Like, it was just... I'm talking really young. I'm not talking 11 or anything. I'm talking like 3. Like, Rainbow was the show for me. Harley, Days, just imagine all 4 matches at SummerSlam, if they are looking at Brock, Cena, and Edge, Cena, Roman, Bobby, Brock, Edge, Seth, and even a return in Becky versus Bianca. Leo said, I told her, who is the funniest farm animal? Comedy hen. Oh, that's actually quite good. I didn't quite get it at first. A comedian. A comedian. That's alright. That's alright, that is. It's nice and PG. Do you know what I mean? If you told it well and she got it. Because I must admit, when I read it, I was like, comedy hen? What? Ah, it took a little while for it to click. I think it's just because it's written down. If you'd have said it and I heard it, I might have got it. I'm sure your delivery was wonderful. It's a good joke, though. I like it. I like it. Leo, was she a fan? Did she like it? Are you seeing her again? Did it go well? Are you seeing her again? These are the big questions that we need answers to right now. Days, I've sent you a custom edit of Cavani's goal in the DMs. Would appreciate if you could check it out. The music is My Heart Will Go On. Well, I'll have to look at that away from the stream, because obviously we'd risk getting a strike because of the music. I'm a Liverpool fan, but from my perspective, United urgently need 2 great DMs and a good centre-back. And with Cavani signing a new contract 2 weeks ago, I can't see you getting Kane. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's going to be so tough next year, because obviously Liverpool are going to be, better than they were this year. I don't quite know. I mean, looking at Liverpool, it's really hard to know what you need other than not having injuries. But, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with, Salah in the summer and who you bring in. And I can't quite tell if things are going to be smooth and it's all going to be, you get your injured players back and you get back to where you were and it's all going to be drama-free, or if it's going to be a summer full of drama for Liverpool. I can't quite tell. But either way, you're going to be better than you were this year. And obviously City are going to improve, and they've just won the title by a landslide. Chelsea have got that new manager, Tuchel, who is doing fantastic work. They'll have a whole season with him, and they're sure to recruit. Obviously, Tottenham are going to go out and I'm sure going to get a great manager as well. So you kind of look at it, West Ham knocking on the door, Leicester under Brendan Rodgers ever improving. You kind of look at it and go, next year is just going to be one of the hardest seasons ever. You probably are going to have to spend some serious money to win the league. It was great seeing fans back at Old Trafford, says James Chadwick. I can't believe that result. I actually was awake when Cavani scored and went onto Twitter and saw the goal, and I was like, wow, incredible. And I ended up going to bed because I thought, I'll just, when I get up, I'll look at the result. I mean, it was 1-0. I was feeling pretty good. I was thinking about half an hour gone or something. I was like, yeah, this is all right. Woke up 1-1. What the flip? Days, does the fact that Drew is going after Bobby again at Hell in a Cell worry you that Drew will win the title? Does it worry me? No. I'm feeling pretty good about the reports of Drew and Jinder, and I don't know that needs the title involved. I mean, Jinder's only just come back, so I kind of feel like Jinder and Drew having a program away from the title. I don't know that the title needs to be involved in that feud. Could it be? Sure. But the reports that I've seen have suggested that Drew was quite happy to do it, or was, proposing doing it without the title being involved. So I could see there being a case where Bobby actually retains the title and we keep it on Bobby. I don't think they're going to look to take that title off Bobby anytime soon. I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong. I am only basing that on the fact that Drew has said that he would be interested in doing a non-title feud with Jinder. So I could see there being other options for Drew. But of course, they could find other options for Bobby. So right now, I think Bobby will retain. But obviously, as we get closer to the event, obviously more reports will come out, rumours will come out, and we'll see where that goes. Days, did you see that some guy called Bryce called out KSI? What is your thoughts? Yeah, I saw Deji was trending on Twitter, and I was like, haven't really heard of anything about him since he fought Jake Paul. So I clicked on it, and it was some I don't know, some press conference. So I'm guessing it's got something to do with this YouTubers versus TikToks thing. I've never in my life heard of Bryce Hall. It sounds like where they filmed Downton Abbey, right? So I've never even heard of the guy. So I've got no idea what the press conference was for. And I simply don't know. I still was none the wiser, because whatever they were talking, they were just like, that press conference was a disgrace. I can't believe like what happened at the press conference, but no one actually said what the press conference was for, and I didn't care enough to explore anymore, so I just left and moved on with my life. So no, I don't know. I've saw the news, but I don't really know what it's about. Dave in real life says, main thing for Liverpool is having Virgil van Dijk back in the defence. The rest will fall into place. Daniel says, we've got... Is this what's going on? Is this soccer days? What's going on here? We've got a 40 million centre-back called Konate. Is that how you pronounce it? Who will be announced soon. The deal is done. He will play next to Van Dijk. Liverpool just need to grab top 4 and reset for next season. I have heard about him. He's a fantastic defender. I think United were even linked to him. I mean, United get linked to everyone, in all fairness, and certainly defenders right now. So I have heard of him, but I've never seen him play. So, and I don't know how you pronounce his name. Konate. So, yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. But, I mean, what a defence you're going to have there with him, Van Dijk, Robertson, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Days with Cavani's goal, when he scored it, I was currently eating my food, and I saw the ball glide in the air and into the net from 40 yards out. I didn't celebrate. I was just in awe. I think we all were, yeah. I mean, I watched it. And when you watch a clip on Twitter, you never quite know, like, at what moment the goal's going to happen. So I saw Cavani chip it and I was like, wow, that's a long way. But in my head, it still didn't register that that was the goal. I thought, like, the keeper might save it, might spill out, like, someone might tap it in, or, do you know what I mean? Like this. I didn't, like, when it goes over his head and goes into the net, I'm like, what? It's a proper goal of the season. Leo says, I'm back. Yeah, Leo, sorry, I didn't see your answer. Are you seeing her again? I'm sure you have said, and I'm sure everyone apart from me already knows the answer. Oh, here we go. She loved it. And I see her every day. Yeah, but I mean, like, out of school. Young love, eh? I can understand you wanting to see her every day, but maybe don't overdo it, yeah? Treat her mean, keep her keen. Yeah, that's what they say. So, you know, hang out with your mates. Just be like, yeah, I can't see you on Thursday because, you know, I'm hanging out with John. But, you know, we could maybe do the KFC McDonald's thing again on Friday if you want. Do you know what I mean? Play it cool. Play it cool, Leo. Yeah. Is there anything announced for NXT? Yeah. Zoey Stark versus Toni Storm. Johnny Gargano versus Bronson Reed in a steel cage match. $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. And you have to do that. And a Pete Dunne interview. That's what we've got announced for NXT. The event is a complete embarrassment to boxing. It's 8 fights. One is a YouTuber. The opponent is a TikToker. It's genuinely a disgrace. People like this can get into boxing. Oh, okay. So it is that thing, is it? Did you know that people don't have to wear face masks tomorrow, says Ant1. I didn't. No, I where are you, Ant1? I don't know. It's probably best that we say what country you're in, because I'm not sure that same rule applies to everyone around the world right now. But, there's little changes happening everywhere, isn't there? Unbroken says TikTokers should stick to their crypto scams, day trade scams, and Ponzi schemes. It's a bit safer than boxing. Edward says, Days, what's the difference between a book and Spurs? A book has a title. I hope Anna Dawes isn't around. Oh, what? I don't know where you heard that, Edward, but it's a good joke, but don't tell Anna, because Anna's like a big Tottenham fan. Ooh, I do like that though. Feel free to take that, friends. Yeah, feel free to take that. What's the difference between Tottenham Hotspurs and a book? A book has got a title. It's a good joke. I've never heard that before, you know. I've never heard that before. That's a good joke, Edward. It's a good joke. Troy said, are there supposed to be more fans tonight? Because I heard they will be adding more fans. I haven't heard that, to be honest. I haven't heard that. They could. Although, I mean, I'm just looking right now. I mean, it does need more fans. In all fairness, it really needs more fans. Compared to how many they were getting at Full Sail, like, it feels like there's next to no one at the Capital Wrestling Centre. I don't actually know if they're going back to Full Sail or what the plan is. That's one of the things, you know, I saw during the Shawn Michaels documentary. This was another interesting thing. I saw where they train now, because obviously this was the Performance Centre, and there was reports that they'd rented out, like, another hall, and that's where, like, you know, building, and that's where they were actually training. And you see it. You see this other thing, and OMG, it is small. It is so small. The room is, like, long and quite narrow, and it's basically, like, 3 rings in a row, and the ropes, you haven't got much distance till you get to the walls, and there's, like, 3 rings in a row. You've probably got enough room for people to, like, just walk past each ring, and that's it. And that's it. And we saw this during the Shawn Michaels thing. And he was working on like something for last year. And it was so interesting. So interesting to see like where they were doing. Because obviously they would have been prepping it all inside the Capital Wrestling Centre, the Performance Centre. But they can't do that now because obviously last year they were filming Raw, SmackDown, WrestleMania pay-per-views were all coming from there. Then, of course, we moved to the Thunderdome. But as soon as we moved to the Thunderdome, NXT moved in. They redid it all, and now it's the Capital Wrestling Centre. So, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know what the long-term plans are. They might not even have any right now. I don't know if they're going to change this back to the Performance Centre, or if NXT is just here now. Like, are they going to go back to Full Sail? Or are they done with Full Sail? Or will they use both venues? I mean, I kind of see Full Sail as home. I kind of see Full Sail as being, like, the place. But, it's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Did you see Triple A have officially set Omega and Andrade for Triple Mania? I did see that. The poster makes them look like ghosts. Any AEW news regarding Sting or Jericho? Not that I've seen. The only thing I saw about Jericho was Jericho making fun of the zombies. And I think he sent a tweet out saying, and we set the zombies, and we set the business back 30 years. So just having a bit of fun with that. Days, who has better in-ring skills, Lana, Tamina, or Dana Brooke? Better in-ring skills, Lana, Tamina, Dana Brooke. I would say I'm leaning Dana Brooke. I'm leaning Dana Brooke. I think Tamina, I can't really think of anything she does that well, to be honest. Lana's all right. I think Lana's putting the work in, actually. I've definitely seen improvement with her. Like, she doesn't look like a deer in her headlights. A lot of wrestling comes down to confidence and, you know, going for things. And, like, she really does seem to be trying a few more things, kind of bringing in more moves to her moveset and having a bit more confidence to, you know, get stuck in. She doesn't look like a deer in the headlights as much anymore. I think her selling has always been good. I mean, look, is she a ring general? Absolutely not. Like, she needs to be told exactly what to do. But I think she can do, she's all right, you know? You need someone to come down, like Lana comes down. She's all right. She's not going to get completely lost. Tamina, I honestly wonder if Tamina's just been inactive. I can't really think of anything she excels at all that much. I mean, yeah. And Dana Brooke, I don't know. I mean, we are really scraping the barrel with those three, in all fairness. Dana Brooke needed longer in NXT. But I think she's been on the main roster and like worked quite a few house shows. And one thing I really love about Dana Brooke, she has got such a passion for wrestling and such a desire to succeed. And she hasn't cut corners. I mean, she went to NXT and learned and then got called up. Got called up too soon in my mind. But, you know, she went there. She put the work in. Got called up. She's been on the main roster a long time now. She's just wanted opportunity. It's never really come her way. But she's always done what's been asked of her. They've had her in quite a few different roles. She's partnered Charlotte. She's been in Titus Worldwide. She's obviously doing the thing with Mandy Rose right now. I mean, like, I'm not crazy for Dana Brooke, but I respect Dana Brooke. And I respect Lana. I think Lana's put the work in. So, yeah, I would, of those three, I would take Dana Brooke. Lana is completely awful. She doesn't deserve to be in WWE, says he. What do you think DiBiase is doing tonight? That's a good question. It's got to be something to do with Cameron Grimes, of course. And it's not going to be a match. So I don't know if DiBiase has bought the services of someone to fight on his behalf. He might want Cameron Grimes to prove that he's as good in the ring as what the $1 Million Man was. I've got someone that, you know, can help me figure out just how good you are. I've bought the services of this man, and then out someone comes and we get a match between, you know, someone that $1 Million Man has bought against Cameron Grimes. I don't know if we're at the point yet where $1 Million Man is going to say that he respects, you know, he's got respect for Cameron Grimes, and because I could see it going that way. I'm hoping eventually he, you know, says Cameron Grimes is, you know, the man, and he's going to give him the $1 Million belt, and you know all this. But I don't think we're quite there yet. So I think there's still going to be a bit of a rivalry for us to explore. I think this rivalry is generating, you know, some good humour. So there's no way $1 Million Man's having a match. So we're gonna have to see how it plays out. But my guess would be that $1 Million Man buys the services of someone. That would be my guess. Just because I can't see their feud ending, and I can't see $1 Million Man competing. I've got Lacey Evans's theme in my head, and I don't know why. Act like a lady, says Austin. $1 Million Man might buy Cameron Grimes. CB3 said, do you think the Velveteen Dream is Raw ready? No. I mean, he's a decent wrestler, and he had a good gimmick, and he absolutely could have been called up, but you can't do that gimmick anymore because of the allegations against Velveteen Dream. And even if those allegations are false, not true, you can't do it. It's too much of a bad taste in the mouth now, which is a shame, to be honest. If he is innocent, that's awful. Think about if he's innocent and he's not been guilty of these things, yeah. Think about what's happened to that guy's career. think about, like, you know, he's not injured or anything. He, like, every time he competes, Twitter attacks him. Fire Velveteen Dream. And if he's innocent, it's horrific. It's awful. And the truth is, no one knows. I mean, that's the truth. People on Twitter don't know. An allegation has been made, and the way that people act, they act like he's guilty. And that's, I mean, I'm not sure what happened until innocent until proven guilty. I don't really know what happened to that. But that apparently doesn't exist on Twitter. So part of me feels sorry for him, but part of me, of course, doesn't know if it's true or not. So you kind of have to just sit on the sidelines and just sort of wait for it to be investigated. I mean, really, you need a proper police investigation. It's no good WWE doing it. You need a proper police investigation, and the police can go around, they can ask people, and the police need to be involved, right? This has got to get sorted, because the allegations are so serious. You know, apparently he was, sending inappropriate messages to, like, some of his students, I think it was, or they were people wanting to get into wrestling that had hit him up, and there's question marks about their age. There's apparently inappropriate images and voicemails that have been sent, and it's just all horrific. It's awful. It's awful, and I don't know where the truth is. So this is what I'm saying. If he's innocent, horrific. If he's guilty, he needs justice. Right? Justice needs to be served. So Twitter needs to sit it out. And he absolutely can't go to Raw. He absolutely can't be on TV. We need a police investigation. It always strikes me as being so simple to sort. And I don't know why it's always made so difficult. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why WWE kept him on TV. I don't know why he had that match with Adam Cole. Do you remember the allegations were all around? Triple H said, we've done an investigation, and then someone popped up on Twitter and went, no one spoke to me. Like, I don't understand why this is so hard. Like, allegations have been made. They're really serious. You get the police involved. Police figure out what's going on. If he's guilty, justice is served. If he's innocent, you can then declare that the police have fully investigated it. You know, and that's it. And then, like, we move forward. But this black cloud has been hanging over him now for so long. I mean, like, it must be over 12 months. It must be over 12 months now that the Velveteen Dreams had this hanging over him. And it's hard to know whether to feel sorry for him or not. 'Cause, again, let's not get this confused. If he is guilty, it's horrific, and he deserves the full weight of the law falling down on him, being served to him. So I'm certainly not defending a guilty man, but I don't know if he's guilty, and neither does anyone else on Twitter, apart from obviously those that are making the allegations and Velveteen Dream himself. So it needs to be a full, proper investigation, because wrestling fans aren't going to forget, and rightfully so. It's right that when he's on TV, wrestling fans are vocal. I fully support that, but there's a lot about it I just don't understand, to be honest. WWE needs to let Dream make a proper statement on the investigation, says Robin. LSW says, I don't understand why the police haven't been involved. WWE aren't the police. They're a wrestling company. They've got no power to say they did an investigation. Yeah, I know. I completely agree. Heather says it's a he said, she said thing. There has to be concrete evidence, like screenshots or conversation transcripts, emails, whatever. Well, there is hardcore evidence, because there were images and there are voicemails. So that there are things. I mean, this is why people on Twitter have decided he's guilty, really. And, you know, you'll see loads of messages attacking him on Twitter. And people have seemingly made their mind up, because there is some evidence there. But what we don't know is he's claiming that the image of him, because I think there's an image of him naked He's claiming that image was sent to a partner of his, and it has now been taken, by, and is being used in this way. So he sent this image to an ex-partner, but now it's fallen into some other people's hands, and now these other people are claiming that he sent it to them. So the last I heard was that's what he was saying, but there is some stuff into it. It is a little bit more than just words here. So again, I feel like there is some that the police could actually investigate, but it's one of them things. Maybe it does boil down to something that would ultimately be he said, she said. Maybe they wouldn't be able to establish where the images actually came from. Although, you'd like to think that Velveteen Dream would still have his phone and would be able to show that he had sent it to a partner in the past or something. I don't know. I mean, I can't answer it, can I? Because I have no idea what the truth is, but it's got to get resolved. One way or another, it can't just stay unresolved. So, yeah, it's a nightmare. I wouldn't expect him anytime soon, of course. But it's got to get resolved. We've seen nothing but corrupt police. Go look at Honor the Oath. Police are tyranny, says Unbroken 1010. Seth Rollins says, have no fear, your former WWE champion is here. Harley said, Days, I didn't believe this at first, but can you believe Roman has held the title for 9 months? It feels like about 4 or 5. No, that is longer than I thought. I mean, he came back at SummerSlam, didn't he? So it wasn't long after that, I suppose, he won the belt. So, yeah, cool. I love long title reigns. I've said before, I'm a massive fan. I'd keep that title on Roman for as long as I could. Days, on Austin Twitter, it showed you put your middle finger up. Yeah, Austin took a screenshot of me when I was making a point, and it looks like I'm sticking my middle finger up. So, as I said, jokingly, I was like, that was actually aimed at WWE Creative. Liam Costa says, Days, my friend, and hello, chat. How are you? I'm excited for tonight's NXT. Yeah, I am as well. We've been all over the place, really. There's not been tons of wrestling news today. Wrestling news in general is very quiet right now. Everything's just really quiet. So, yeah, we've kind of been a bit all over the place. Been talking about the Shawn Michaels biography, which was very good. And I'm really looking forward to the Ultimate Warrior one. Really looking forward to that. That is this Sunday. They've been really good, actually, these biographies. I watched the Macho Man one, and that was a bit of a hit job. People were saying that was a hit job because, again, these biographies do not shy away from the darker sides of the performers. So, it really focuses on his relationship with Elizabeth and how he was overpowering. And with that Macho Man one, I didn't know this, but apparently Gorgeous George, not the 1950s wrestler, but the girl that was with Macho in the 90s after Elizabeth, he was with someone called Gorgeous George. Apparently, she was cleaning Macho's apartment, and she saw this little lockbox, and she opened this lockbox, and inside, so this is amazing, right? I don't think I'd heard this before. I had heard that he was overprotective, but I hadn't heard this. So she was cleaning Macho's flat. This is, what, late 90s, probably? Probably late 90s. So she's cleaning his flat. She finds this lockbox. She opens it. And do you know what was inside? What was inside was videos, screens, yeah, of her apartment. Live camera shots of her apartment. How mental is that? Could you imagine that? Imagine that. Imagine you're around your partner's apartment or whatever, doing a bit of tidying, and you open this thing up and you can see your apartment. Like, live hidden cameras had been planted in her apartment because he was that controlling. and probably that suspicious and wanted to know what was going on. He was that paranoid. It's like, what? That was the Macho Man. That was the Macho Man. He had hidden cameras in her apartment. And apparently she turned around. She was like, take me home. Take me home now. She went back and I can only imagine ripped them all out. Or, and obviously, they didn't stay together. But, yeah, man, there's some good stuff in them biographies. I had heard that he was very controlling. It's very famous that he was controlling with Elizabeth. Very, very famous that he was controlling with Miss Elizabeth. But I don't think I'd heard that story. So, they are worth watching, them biography things. And the Warrior one this weekend is going to be fire. It is going to be amazing, because how do you pitch that? Because he was off his rocker, man. He said a lot of very nasty, hurtful things. Like, he really was not a nice piece of work, in all truth. Like, he said some very bad things. And he, I don't know how they're gonna present that, because they haven't been shying away from showing the darker sides of people, of superstars, as we just said with that Macho Man story. And I don't quite know how you're gonna do this with the Warrior. I mean, the Warrior, WWE had such a bad relationship with him. They put out a DVD called The Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior, the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior. And that was really the first glimpse that we had of what he was like. And it completely changed a lot of people's opinions of him. I loved the Warrior. We were talking about him the other day. He was one of my all-time favourite wrestlers. And then I watched that self-destruction. And I was like, wow, never heard these stories before. Like, stories where he wouldn't wrestle. Like, I think there's one famously where it's him and Hogan against Colonel Mustafa and Sergeant Slaughter at SummerSlam 91. And just before he's about to go out, he asks Vince for like $500,000. Like, I ain't going to do it unless you give me $500,000. And like, it's SummerSlam. And it's a packed arena, and Warrior's like, I'm not going to do it. Like, he doesn't care about the fans, doesn't care if he walks out and ruins the show. He doesn't care. And, like, what could Vince do? He's advertised the Warrior. It's literally moments before the match. There's no real time to sort out a replacement or anything like this. It's an absolute, it's a hold-up, really. And he has to pay the Warrior the money. And the second the match is over, he fires him. He says that's the biggest regret. That's the biggest mistake you'll ever make. Fires him. Pays him the money. Fires him. I mean, of course, he was going to fire him. Of course he was. But, that's just one example of things that Warrior was doing. So hard to work with and everything. I mean, I should imagine all of that will be in the documentary. So, I'm so looking forward to that. That is going to be fascinating. Ultimate Warrior promos were something else. They were totally insane, says Dave in real life. LSW says, I hate the Ultimate Warrior. I mean, certainly if you look... I don't want to talk about the things he said, mainly because I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, so I don't want to claim that he said something if he didn't actually say it. So if I could tell you exactly off the top of my head what he said, I'd say it. I'd tell you. I can't quite remember like his exact wording, but I know that he came out when he was out of WWE and away from like the business. I know he was coming out with some awful stuff. I mean, the irony is now, he was such a nasty person, a bad person. He was rotten to his core. And now we've got the Warrior Award named after him. That's the irony. That's the irony. I think it's because, like, he managed to apologize and get into the good books, went into the Hall of Fame. Like, no one expected that. No one expected him to go into the Hall of Fame. Like, his relationship with WWE was dead. But they got to a point where they worked it out. He goes into the Hall of Fame, and then it's like, 24 hours, 48 hours later, he's dead. So I think that's why, I think he managed to go back and make peace. He managed to go back and make peace, and then passes away. Joy Maurice. Is that how you... Joy Maurice? Joy Maurice. I've got me Joy Maurice. Said, Days, if they will be showing the darker side of wrestling's in the biography episode, will they do a Chris Benoit episode? No. They won't do a Chris Benoit one because they won't even touch that subject. I think WWE have signed off on superstars that are like really big, really popular. But yeah, no, they ain't touching a Chris Benoit episode. I mean, a thing he has though, Dark Side of the Ring has, haven't they? So you can watch about Benoit. There is a show out there all about him. I think, was it a two? I can't even remember. It might have been a 2-part episode. So it's certainly been covered, but no, this is like what this series is in conjunction with WWE, and that's one they absolutely won't touch. Joy Maurice, shout out to you. I know you knew that anyway. I saw the little laughing face emoji. Jim Gore says, maybe it's a good thing you can't remember. I'm sure the stream would get demonetized. Maybe. I hope you're well, Jim. Will they do one on Hogan? Yeah. Yeah, they are. They were doing a film, weren't they? Wasn't it Chris Hemsworth that's going to... I think it's still happening. Obviously, the pandemic hit, so I don't quite know where we are. But I think there's been quite a few things planned with Hogan. A film in particular. I can't say I've heard they're doing the biography thing on him. They should, in all fairness, they should. Right. Can I just say as well, I do not have any sound on this computer because you have to plug in external speakers and I don't have any plugged in. So if that alarm keeps going off on streams, I can't hear it. Which I completely understand is very annoying. Maybe I should just get some speakers just for that. I do have some upstairs, in all fairness. I just never brought them down. Right, Toni Storm versus Zoey Stark. We have seen this match before, and it was great. Okay, so Zoey Stark with a bit of an entrance. Still not really much in the way of ring attire. She has been great. I saw someone on Twitter saying, are we done with Zoey Stark now? I didn't quite understand what that meant. But I think someone was making out that like wrestling fans are now just getting a bit bored of her. I have no idea. I honestly, I think she's amazing. I think she's a brilliant wrestler. She's been a great addition. I've enjoyed all of her matches. And I'm going to enjoy this one as well. We saw, as we said, we saw it before. Zoey against Toni. It was a pre-show to TakeOver? Yeah, taking a bit of time. Toni Storm having a little look around. She's pointing at Zoey Stark. Slaps her in the face. Zoey Stark drives Toni into the corner. Kicks to the midsection. Pushes Toni back. More kicks. Zoey needs a gimmick. I do love her wrestling work. She is great, says Brony. Nice drop kick. Nice drop kick. Zoey Stark in control. Toni Storm to the outside. Zoey over the top. Crossbody. Nice crossbody to the outside as well. Toni Storm goes down. I love Toni's hair, says Leo. That's it, Leo. Girls love that. It's another good one. I love your hair. That's a good one. Save that one, Leo. Springboard. Missile dropkick by Toni Storm. Toni Storm by Zoey Stark to Toni Storm. Toni has got nice hair, says Robin. Zoey Stark is consistently having really great matches, says Sandman882. I agree. That's why I was a bit disappointed when I saw this. I mean, honestly, it was probably nothing. It was probably just one person that's decided they're bored with Zoey. But I did see this one comment on Twitter where they were like, so we're bored of Zoey Stark now, yeah? I was like, I should have replied no. There's so many tweets like that I see. And I just want to reply like, no. I don't really want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy. I mean, I am that guy, but I don't want to be that guy. Days Miz is injured. Apparently, this is the first time he's ever been injured for reals. Not in kayfabe, which is mad. I did hear this, yeah. Apparently, he got injured during WrestleMania Backlash. But, hopefully he makes a speedy recovery. I suppose it's good timing, isn't it? What with him being eaten by zombies. We've got a great graphic in the bottom corner. Bronson Reed, Johnny Gargano, the epic steel cage match tonight. Rick E245 says, Days, the next bios are Warrior and Brett and Foley. So no Hogan. I can't believe they've not done Hogan. They should definitely have done Hogan. I appreciate that, though. Brett will be great. Foley, in fact, all of them will be great, won't they? All of them will be great. The ref has got lovely hair, says William. Guys, everyone has got lovely hair. Can we just agree on this? Everyone has got lovely hair. Miz Zombie has got eaten. Apparently, Miz tore his ACL and Braun has injured his ribs. Big boot by Toni Storm. Zoey Stark coming off the ropes. What channel is the Savage Wrestling documentary on in the UK? I watched it on Watch Wrestling. It's on A&E in America, and I don't think we have that channel. So if you go to Watch Wrestling, if you Google that, then you should be able to find them all on there. So the Savage one's on there. Yeah, you might have to go back a little bit. The way it works is it's just like all the shows as they air. So you kind of have to just go back a week to find it. Shawn was obviously on Sunday. So it was Shawn on Sunday. Week before it was Macho Man. Booker T the week before that, I think. Haven't seen the Booker T one yet. I still need to watch that. They're long, man. They're like an hour and 25 minutes without adverts. So with adverts, they must be like 2 hours long. I mean, that is pretty epic, isn't it? Like, they've really not cut any corners on these. And that's where you can watch the Treasures show as well. I still need to watch that. There's been a Sergeant Slaughter episode of that, which I want to watch. I did see the Booker T one of that. It was very good. Backslide by Zoey Stark. Strikes to the side of the head. Gets pushed back. Duck underneath. Nice Enziguri kick. What a kick. Great Enziguri by Toni. Oh my god, I keep getting them mixed up. By Zoey. I think it's because they've got quite similar names. Zoey Stark. Toni Storm. I would love, like, this is a bit of a grudge match, but obviously it's not had the biggest build. But you are right, I think she needs a bit more of a gimmick. Need to know a bit more about her. And, yeah, kind of, she can really work, and I can see her going to the main roster and doing some really good stuff. So, very exciting. She signed with a load of other women, didn't she? Like Priscilla Kelly and some other people, which I don't even know their names. We just don't see them. Like, the spotlight has firmly been on Zoey Stark. So, I don't know if they're going to start pulling the trigger on the others soon. I've not watched any of them. I'm watching so much wrestling, says James Chadwick. Good match so far, says Robin. Mike says, holy smokes, Days. Toni Storm has got quite the caboose. Yeah. Anthony said, Days, can you live stream you watching the Ultimate Warrior biography? And when are your Raw reviews coming back? The Raw reviews weren't getting great views, to be honest. And that was a bit of a problem because they take so long to do. And they can't be monetized. Because a lot of them, use footage and they get demonetized. Like, I can't even monetize them. It's like you either don't monetize them or you can't upload them. So they take, honestly, I would think I was able to do, like, I was trying to do one a week, but I don't even know if that was possible. To watch them, make the notes on them, get the screenshots, do the editing, upload them. Like, one a week might have been realistic. But then for them to get, like, you know, a couple of thousand views and you can't monetize them, it just didn't, it stopped being feasible. So, such a shame, because I loved them. I loved them. I enjoyed doing them, and I think that showed in them as well. So yeah, I don't know the right way forward with those. I mean, maybe if I lose the footage, maybe I'll be able to monetize them, but that doesn't change the fact they weren't really getting great views. I don't know. I rewatched Cesaro versus... Oh, and I was trying to think then. There was another part to that question. Can I stream Watching Warrior? Probably not, to be honest, because I won't be watching it live. If I was able to watch it live, I'd be interested in doing that. But I can't watch it. I don't think I can watch it live. I don't think it airs on Watch Wrestling Live. I always watch it on, like, a catch-up. Days, I rewatched Cesaro Roman, and I can't tell which was better, that match or the Mania match. Also, Cesaro's selling was the best selling I've seen so far this year. You don't have sound on your TV again. I've got sound on this one, yeah. I can hear NXT. That was weird. That was only a one-off thing when I had sound issues. Sound's all right now. So, yeah, I got sound on this. I haven't got sound on my computer. What was that? Cherry, Rosa Mendez, Katie Lee Burchill, Aksana, or Maxine to return. Who would you like? I can't say I was a massive fan of any of those, to be honest. I don't know. I would really struggle with those because I can't say I was that sad to see any of them leave. I don't really have any of them high up in my list of, like, women's wrestlers. So, Katie Lee Burchill, but I can't even really give you a reason why. Rosa Mendez went off to have a family, I think, didn't she? Nice head scissor Hurricanrana, actually, by Zoey. Super kick by Zoey. Who would you go for, Jacko, out of that? I'm going to throw that question back to you. Because I can't give you a great answer on that. Because I don't really rate them, to be honest. This show needs more zombies. What could be next for Pete Dunne? We'll find out tonight. He's got an interview. Zoey Stark in control at the moment. 14 minutes into the show. Again, they've given this match some time. She's got the leg of Zoey Stark. Toni with a nice German. Nice German by Toni. She's going for Storm Zero. Oh, she gets it. That should be it. To kick out by Zoey Stark. Not a big fan of Zoey Stark kicking out of Toni Storm's finisher. I kind of feel like your finisher should finish. So, Toni can't believe that Zoey Stark has kicked out of that. Zoey Stark's legs. I like her selling. Did you see her legs? Oh my God, what was that? Oh, wow, wow! Is that a new finisher? Oh, I really don't recommend she does that on a regular basis. I don't know what that was. Toni Storm has won. She just absolutely spiked Zoey Stark head first. spectacle of oh my god, look at that move. She takes her over a knee and then sort of drives her down in like, it's like a pile driver, vertical DDT type maneuver. That is incredible. That is incredible. I really wouldn't have that. That is something you break out once in a blue moon. You can't do that on a regular basis. You can't do that on a regular basis. That is top tier. That is the special sauce. That right there is the special sauce. I can't quite figure out how she did it. The speed that she executed it with as well. I am shocked. That move is incredible. That is incredible. It's like a knee trip into a twisted slam. Jacko said, I would choose Aksana. I think Rosa has lost the passion. Katie Lee wouldn't keep up with That's fair. Cherry's a little old. Maxine is into being an actress. Aksana was impressive. Good answer. Good answer. It should be called the career ender, says Anthony. You're absolutely right. Honestly, I thought it had gone wrong. For a brief second, I thought it was a move that had gone wrong. She spiked her on her head. Like, you just don't do that in WWE. They don't do a pile driver is safer than that. I have no idea how that was given the green light. I have no idea how that was greenlit. That move looks... The speed that she hit it as well. That move looked like she killed her. If you get that wrong, you end someone's... Potentially, you end someone's life. I mean, I really love the visual of that move, but that move is like... Do not use that move till the main event of TakeOver or the main event of WrestleMania. That I can't stress enough. That is top tier. It's risky. It looks amazing. You don't do that move every week. We got Frankie Monet came out, by the way. We've got Cameron Grimes now, and I think that's Jake Atlas, isn't it? So, are we getting Jake Atlas against Cameron Grimes tonight? Balor versus Cross Prime Target up next. Balor Cross 2, so it looks like we are getting that then. Grimes... report out that WWE and AEW have Tessa on a do not sign list. John says, whoever is sick of Zoey Stark may have just gotten their wish. As you said, that is a career-ending or life-ending finisher. I know, man. I mean, I don't know. I'm really torn on it. I wasn't. It's funny because moments before I was like, I don't think she should kick out of a finisher. I kind of feel like this is the opening match on just a normal week's NXT. I kind of think that if Toni Storm's going to hit her Storm Zero, like, that should be protected. So I don't really think... But then she just hit her with whatever that thing was. And then you go, wow. Honestly, I mean, Zoey was holding her neck and she was, like, obviously selling it. I think I would have just had her completely out. I think that thing just looks like it could kill someone. I would have said to Zoey, like, just don't sell it. You're completely out. That's a move that just kills you. It's just, you're done. I wouldn't say, like, act like you're dead. I'd just be like, don't be like, oh, my neck. Like, that move looks worse than just hurt. It looks like it could end your life. But this is what I'm saying. I wouldn't use it that often. But what a move! I kind of feel like that is the wrestling equivalent to the Cavani goal earlier. You know the Cavani goal earlier, and everyone's like, it's goal of the season. Oh my God, did you see it? That, to me, is the absolute wrestling equivalent. Like, what a move. Easily the best thing I've seen. Like, I don't know, since when? I can't remember, like, the last moment that I enjoyed as much as that. Beats anything from Raw. Beats anything from Backlash. Such an incredible moment, that move. I know I'm putting it over hard, but it takes a lot to blow my mind. Motix said they should call it the Paralyzer. LSW said this Prime Target will be great. It's a bit too much. Harley said, Days, apparently Braun got injured with his ribs. He did try to kill himself twice with those front flips. A man of his size doing that is mad. He woke up and decided to be a cruiserweight. Taboy said, I still feel like Zoey should not have kicked out of Storm Zero. Yeah, I agree. But I suppose in a way it's like, well, kick out of that. Try and kick out of this. It's kind of interesting to know that Toni has got a move even more devastating than her finisher. So it's like, if you do ever dare to kick out of Storm Zero, she's going to hit that thing on you. Do you know what? If anyone's watching and you ever step into the ring with Toni Storm, do not kick out of Storm Zero. Just be happy. Just be happy that it was only the Storm Zero. Because if you annoy her and she brings out that move, you might want to call your loved ones before, just go, give me a second. I just want you to know that I love you. Yeah. Okay, bye. Days, what would you say was the most important thing to happen in WWE? Was it the Punk pipe bomb or the last Monday Night War to the day Vince took over WWE? I don't think the pipe bomb was that important. I mean, like, it's historical and it made CM Punk, but I don't think much changes without it, to be honest. I think Vince taking over WWE is massive. I mean, I can't really think of much bigger than that, apart from them gambling with the first WrestleMania. So, of your options, I'd say Vince. Right, we've got Candice and we've got Indi at a spa. Yeah, and Dexter Lumis is at the spa. He's a loser. The biggest loser. Aww. Aww. Everyone's going to feel for the psychopath right now. We did this our way. Look at Beth Phoenix's face. She looks creeped out. Lumis deserves better. Hashtag justice for Lumis. Those were just some examples. Oh, no, that's all right. Yeah, I mean, Vince taking over or the birth of WrestleMania. Right, what we've got now is we've got this prime target, which is Balor and Karrion Kross sitting down. Balor, Kross, package? I don't know what to call it, really. Balor Kross package? That'll do, won't it? 3 words, don't really make any sense together, but I've gone with it. It's the old guys, it's the old Balor Kross package. Would you be surprised if Zoey Stark was hot-shotted to the main roster? Would I be surprised? Yes, because I don't think they've given her a gimmick yet. I don't think that she's found her character yet. And I don't think that this is going to work on the main roster. You can get away with it in NXT. Just being a great wrestler and having great matches is fine on NXT. But on the main roster, you've got to be a sports entertainer. And you've got to have a personality and a gimmick and something they can market and sell merchandise with. And I don't think they've got any of that yet. So I would be surprised. Because they're going to have to find all of that very, very quick if they do hotshot her. Do you ever see Vince going into the Hall of Fame? Yes. He won't go in whilst he's alive. He's said many times he doesn't want to go in. But when he passes away, they'll put him in. So, yeah, he'll go in. And you want to talk about someone that should have a class on their own? I know everyone wants Undertaker to go in on his own. But how do you put Vince in with other people? Like, Vince might be the only person I would say should go in on his own. Even Undertaker, I'm not really bothered. If he goes on his own, that's all right. But Ric Flair didn't. Shawn Michaels didn't. Like, you think back of all the greats. I don't mind Undertaker going in on his own. But I don't think I would do it. But Vince, there's too much to talk about. There's too much to cover. So I kind of think, like, there's a real argument he should go in on his own. But it won't be when he's alive. You ain't going to hear from him. He don't want to go in. And I'm not sure I can see him changing his mind on that, to be honest. Days, shouldn't Beth be at home tending to Edge? He was stacked and pinned. He was stacked and pinned. Like a waffle. Like a pancake. No, I think Edge can look after himself, in all fairness. Harley said, in my opinion, Braun doing 2 front flips, landing on Drew and Bobby throughout the match was better, only because of his size. He landed on his neck as well. Okay. Anthony said, Days shouldn't bet. Oh, we read that one. Jacko said, Days, have you noticed how WWE never bring back women from Divas era? This is why I'm so shocked they're bringing back Marie as a face. They must have seen something. What do you think it is? I don't know. I mean, they do bring back women for the Rumble. And I think she got decent YouTube views because she's a good-looking woman, and obviously she had the wardrobe malfunction. I do keep coming back to that because the views on that video were insane. Were there like 40 million views? She came down to the ring and her top fell off and they had to put a towel over her. And, you know, the world is full of perverts. And so that video got some crazy, crazy views. In fact, I'll have a look. I'll have a look. Right, we got Jake Atlas in the ring. Eva Wardrobe. See, this is how good my knowledge is of Eva Marie. It's actually 44 million. That's 4 million out. 44 million views. Now, I'm not saying they're bringing her back just because of that, but I mean, who knows what her segments were doing? That's it, because that's the only thing. They're not bringing her back for a wrestling. I know she was on Big Brother, but I don't think... Was she that big of a star? This is cool. It's great to hear $1 Million Man's music. Look at this little video package about with $1 Million Man. I think it's just loads of iconic footage. It's actually loads of footage of him getting beaten up. Look, that's the theme here. Him stepping in. There's Virgil. Cameron Grimes laughing at $1 Million Man. And there's him losing to Virgil. These are great, iconic moments. There's Hogan dropping the leg. There's $1 Million Man with being razor's edged. being covered in slop. Money, money, money. DBRC. DBRC. DBRC is the champ from the fans. Beth Phoenix says that video did nothing but show what a legend Ted DiBiase is. She is on TV, Paradise City. Oh, is she on TV? Maybe that's playing a part as well, then, if they can tap into... if she can bring some eyes in. Daisy's face, like, I love it, man. I love that. I wish they'd show us more of them old moments. I really do. I really do. I don't understand why they don't. They've got this wealth of history. And it's great to see them classic moments. Is that the new A&E biography about Ted DiBiase? No, but there should be. Do you know he's one of the unsung heroes? Ted DiBiase is such a good worker. If ever they needed someone to put on a good match, Ted DiBiase was your man. He was kind of like the... I don't want to say AJ Styles because it's not a good comparison, because AJ obviously does a lot of aerial stuff and he's quite flashy. And I don't really want to say Cesaro because Ted DiBiase doesn't have the strength of Cesaro. And he doesn't really have the mat-based wrestling of Daniel Bryan, but he was reliable. He always had a good match. He could really put people through their paces. He's kind of like an amazing Miz. That's Ted DiBiase. An amazing Miz. A smarmy heel that doesn't really do high-flying stuff. Keeps things simple, but is capable of putting on really great matches with the right opponents. And is, trusted. And that was kind of Ted DiBiase. But I put DiBiase over Miz. DiBiase was, really good in the ring. And obviously, towards the end, he goes into, Money Inc. and it's kind of past it then. But you go back to the 80s, and he was doing some good stuff, Ted DiBiase. Mike Ziegler said, Days, I can see your channel going to the moon. Shout out to you, Mike. Appreciate the kind words. Appreciate everyone joining us tonight. Obviously, last week, not great ratings for NXT. Numbers coming in at 680,000. About the same as what they were getting when they were going head-to-head with AEW. So, hopefully, Ted DiBiase being on the show, the $1 million man, and obviously, cage match as well. Hopefully that is going to bring in some extra viewers. I think the show's been pretty good so far. That move. It's worth watching this show just for that move. I still don't know what it's called, but that move. Big Boy Dally said, Days doesn't have lovely hair. He is ashamed to show it, and so he keeps it in a beanie. Chris says, Eva Marie is a movie star. She was in Hard Kill with Bruce Willis. Massive movie star. She's basically the next George Clooney. Do you remember Giant Haystacks and his 2-month stint in WCW as Loch Ness? He had a little feud with Big Show, a.k.a. The Giant. I do. And I wish that he'd been able to have done more, but he couldn't do much, could he? It was right at the end of his career. He was as big as ever. It's so weird, isn't it? Because Giant Haystacks is one of the biggest names in British wrestling history. If there was a British Wrestling Hall of Fame, Giant Haystacks is the second person that goes in, just after Big Daddy. Big Daddy is number 1. Giant Haystacks is number 2. You could argue that, you put them both in at the same time, basically. So for him to go over to WCW, it's huge. And do you know what? It's actually not that long ago I found out about it. I don't know, within the past 10 years. because I wasn't watching WCW. So to find out that Giant Haystacks had been in WCW blew my mind. And he competed as Loch Ness. He was quite big, slow. I mean, if you search for it on the network, you're not going to be that impressed. But he was so important in British wrestling because he was huge. I mean, like, I don't know how much he was weighing at the time. It's got to have been over 600 pounds, surely. Surely. Guy, it was incredibly big. And I think he ended up getting a cancer, and passing away. And so he didn't do much in WCW. It's such a shame because it's kind of like, I don't know how well he was paid in the UK, but I'm sure WCW was a good payday. And it's such a shame that he didn't get more of that because he deserved it. Even if he wasn't the most exciting wrestler in the world, he's a legend. He did so much for British wrestling. He is a legend. So, yeah, very cool. But his matches were awful. Days, you say the world is full of... Please, I beg you look at the most viewed... Oh, perverts. I beg that you look at the most viewed WWE video from the channel. Most viewed WWE video. I did used to know what that was. It used to be a Battle Royal. But I'm not sure what it is now. I think it's obviously ever-changing as the channel keeps growing. Sort by most popular... Where's the Battle Royal gone now? Wow, the battle... Oh, there it is. 109 million. That Battle Royal, a 41-man Battle Royal, used to be the top video. It's not... I'm not even in the top 10 now. The top video, Randy Orton makes it personal with Triple H. This is Steph, unconscious, in the ring... with Randy Orton, Triple H handcuffed and Randy Orton kisses Steph. That was in the build to WrestleMania 25, maybe? Something along those lines. Triple H, Randy Orton. I think it was 25, because I'm sure they have to follow Undertaker Shawn. So, there we go. Perverts, I tell you. Going Ghost says Paul Heyman, Brooklyn Brawler, Michael Cole, and Earl Hebner should all be in the Hall of Fame. What are your thoughts? Yes, and yes. Yeah. I can't argue with any of them. 100% on Brooklyn Brawler. Brooklyn Brawler might stand out as like, not sure about that one. 100%. That guy went all over the world, having matches on a very regular basis, putting people over, making stars, and he did an important job on the roster. We were talking about the fact that, hey, the music hits, and here is the $1 Million Man. Pay the respects! Pay the respects! Jake Atlas rolls up Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes loses. $1 Million Man's got his Hall of Fame ring on. Dun 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 dun. $1 Million Man walks away. Is that it? Is that all we're getting from the $1 Million Man? He comes out, he distracts Cameron Grimes. Money, money. Do, 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 do. Cameron Grimes running to the back. Money, money, money. Oh, we're watching him. We're watching him going to Gorilla. Camera's sticking on Cameron Grimes. He goes to the back. There's the limo. Tries to open the door. There's Ted. And there we go, he's gone. That damn Ted DiBiase. Here we go. Here's the advert. You have to tell the whole story. Flawed, complicated human being. Oh my god, I'm so excited for that. So excited. I want to love the Warrior again. I loved him as a kid. Warrior Hogan, WrestleMania 6. Warrior all day long, baby. All day long. I am Team Warrior. I wanted him as champ. I wanted to see his matches all the time. Whenever I bought a video, I looked to see if the Warrior was on there. I was so excited when he came back at WrestleMania 12. I wanted Warrior. Or I just wanted Warrior plugged into my veins. The Warrior wrestling buddy was my favourite. Maybe my favourite figure would have been a Warrior. Hasbro as well. I mean, I did. It's funny because I've kind of forgotten how much I love the Warrior. I've forgotten. Because of all the bad stuff that's come out since. Like, you just kind of go, oh. And, do you know what I mean? I suppose in a way there's a lot of people that are probably really into Benoit. You know, after everything that happened, you know, maybe forget how much they used to love Benoit. I'm not sure. But now, you know, it's just not the same anymore. And I kind of feel that way about the Warrior. And I want to love the Warrior again. I want to love that character. And I want to relive them moments. And, you know, they all got closure from it. It's really disappointing. They say don't meet your heroes. And obviously I never got to meet him. But it sounds like it would have been a very disappointing experience if I had. So, yeah. Ultimate Warrior. That is one I'm really looking forward to. I was looking forward to the Shawn one. It was really good. But that Warrior one, how much are they going to tell? How far are they going to go? It's going to be so good. Harley said, so your point is proven. To prove it even more, there's a video titled Cena and AJ Lee kissing, and it's the 4th most viewed. Harley, yeah. Wrestling fans. Just perverts, all of us. No exception. Every single one of us. Just perverts. Dave said, I could imagine a young wrestling days running down the school halls with his tassels on. Yes! Oh, God, so good. Such great stories as well. I mean, like, you know, his story with Macho King and the retirement match there and the whole Miss Elizabeth and Sensational Sherry and so good. So good. Him and Hogan, you know, face to face in the Rumble, and it's like, oh, I didn't know I needed this, but I need this. And then they face at WrestleMania 6. Him ending Honky Tonk Man's Intercontinental title reign, and some good stuff in there, man. Some good stuff. I met Warrior at Comic Con. He was actually a really nice guy. Same with New Jack. What? You got to meet the Ultimate Warrior? That is amazing. And I'm really pleased he was a nice guy. Really pleased he was a nice guy. Did you see Heyman say Roman is watching Balor versus Cross? I saw Heyman. I didn't hear what he said. I have to have the sound turned down. So, yeah, I mean, I can't say I'm too surprised at that. I would imagine they would want you to think that Roman watches this, and maybe he does. I don't know. WWE should promote NXT more on the main roster. They did it yesterday. on Raw for Gargano and Reed. They did it last week as well. They did have... I remember Karrion Kross saying that he had something to say, and everyone was like, oh, does that mean he's on Raw? But it was just a little video thing that he did during Raw. So it seems to be a new thing they're doing each week on Raw. There seems to be just a little advert where they do a little promo to hype up NXT that week. So I would expect to see that on a weekly basis now. Okay, that's good. We just saw his wife. That's quite interesting. We just got to see his wedding photos, and we learnt that he has got a wife. And I was saying, I want to know more about him. I mean, in all fairness, we got to see a couple of wedding pictures and that was it. So I'd like a bit more than that. But still very interesting. Right, Pete Dunne right now, Peter. Pete Dunne says, I've already proven that I can beat Kushida. That's my title. That's my brand. I can go there. I can take that back. He's talking about getting the belt off Volta. It's my title. It's my belt. I could go there. I could win. If I wanted to win that, I could win that. Do you believe you don't get the respect you deserve? Pete Dunne says, I don't really care. I wish he would slow down. I mean, he's talking right now, and it's still not impactful. It lacks impact. His promos, and even when he's talking, just lack impact. He says he gets a lot from traditional British style. And he says he tries to make it more violent and more aggressive. I feel like this is just an interview for, like... I don't feel like this is a promo that's really getting him over as a character. I just feel like I'm eavesdropping on him having a little chat with the New York Times. Yeah, you know, I kind of feel this way about this, and I suppose in a way my favourite colour is black, but, you know, sometimes it might be red. But I feel like if I went back to NXT UK, I could get my title back if I wanted. It's like, gee, come on, man. I couldn't see the Ultimate Warrior sitting down and doing a promo like this, or Hogan back in the day or whatever. It's all a bit nonchalant. Not feeling that at all. Pete Dunne is misfiring right now when it comes to promos. Even when he talks, it's not got impact. Right, what we got here? We want to talk about Impact. How about we talk about Imperium? Alexander Wolf competing tonight. Wolf versus Dane one-on-one. This is interesting. There's a whole Sanity backstory here, of course. Why have they still got this music for them? Alexander Wolf against Killian Dane. Killian Dane. Is Savio Vega and Big Daddy V and Fit Finlay, Hall of Fame contenders. Finlay, I would say yes. Finlay did a lot in like WCW and in the UK as well. So I don't know if he'd go in just for his WWE achievements. Cause I don't know. I mean, he does a lot behind the scenes, Fit Finlay, in all fairness. So if you take his career as a whole, yes. Big Daddy V was Viscera and Mabel, Men in a Mission, and I mean, is that Hall of Fame worthy? I mean, he did, he won King of the Ring and a few other belts and whatnot, but I'd say that's borderline for me. I can't say that I think of that and I go, yeah, Hall of Fame. Like, that's kind of... He did a few things, and he was around for a while, so you could make arguments for it, but it's kind of on the line. We need a VAR check on that one. Same with Savio Vega in a way, although I'm not too sure what the rest of his career was like. He could have been huge in, like, you know, Caribbean promotions or something. I'm not sure what the rest of his career was like. Because, in all fairness, there's a lot of people in the Hall of Fame like Jushin Thunder Liger, who was, you know, in WCW a bit. One match in WWE and he's in the Hall of Fame because you can't deny the impact that he had. Can't deny the impact that he had. He has to go into the Hall of Fame. You can't have a Hall of Fame without Jushin Thunder Liger. So it's absolutely right he goes in. Savio Vega could have had an incredible impact. Killian Dane was distracted. There was a chair that was involved, crossbody, and Alexander Wolf was distracted. Killian Dane has won. Hey, I'm mixing up names tonight, aren't I? So Killian Dane won. Alexander Wolf was distracted. It's a bit of a nothing match. It's a throwaway. Coco Beware went in. Yeah, that's another that I would say is a VAR check. That's the one that I always use as a... I'm not sure about this. I have to say Molly Holly as well. I'm not sure about her. The one thing I would say is I think she had such an impact behind the scenes in helping to train women, and you know, there was a lot of people that were really happy for her. So I think her impact was maybe greater than I thought. Oh, wow, they're attacking Alexander Wolf. I was just watching this because they were like, no, you stand at the front. Wow, we've got some Imperium problems. Oh, Aichner, Bartel attacking Alexander Wolf. Obviously, there'd been some problems here. Oh, what is Volta going to make of that? What is Volta going to make of that? I mean, they've no-sold it. We just go straight to a graphic and the commentators move on. Why have they no-sold that? Why are the commentators not losing their minds? I feel like that. Am I the only one that think that's a big deal? No, well, we're moving on, guys. Coming up next, we've got this tag team. Don't worry about that. Yeah, something's happened. But, yeah, we've got this tag team match coming up next. And, they just start Imperium! What's Volta going to do now? Maybe he'll like it. Because, you know, there's a bit of dissension. He was having a go at them. They've decided something. Do you know what I mean? They've made a decision. They don't want him around. Boom. Maybe he'll be angry. Do they move forward as a 3? Is there a spot for Timothy Thatcher now? What does Alexander Wolf do now? Oh. Maybe Wolf and Dane work as a tag team. Wolf and Dane as a tag team would be really good. I'd be down for that. I'd be down for Wolf and Dane. I don't know what you do with Drake Maverick, and honestly, I don't care. But Wolf and Dane. Imperium maybe move forward as a 3. You could always add Timothy Thatcher, who, you know, there was a bit of it not long ago. He was having a little look, because he used to be in Imperium. But that was on the indie scene. So, I think Wolf goes with Dane and Maverick, says Dom15. Butter Spark said maybe it was Volta's order. Ooh. Brad says, I felt that was coming since Volta was on the tablet and he was upset with them. Hype Man said, I saw that coming for some reason. I didn't. I'll hold my hands up. I didn't think they were doing it. There was obviously issues and you felt that something was going to build, but I didn't think it was going to be here. You know, they said to him, no, look, you go, you stand there. I think because it looked like Alexander Wolf had just lost and he was willing to stand in line with them. And they were like, no, you stand in the spotlight. You stand ahead. And they went to do the thing and then attacked. And it was good. It was done well. I thought it was done well. Big Boy Dally says, do you think Volta is going to come back to the States for this? I hope not, because I want him here forever. So we're going to keep him. I was thinking this the other day, you know, how lucky am I? How lucky am I that I'm sat here in the UK and maybe my favourite wrestler right now is Volta? And he is the NXT UK champion. And when everything reopens and they have fans back, one of the few stars that I can actually go and see in person without having to jump on a plane is Volta. Life is good sometimes. I can go and see Miko Satomura and Volta at the same show in the future. I'm definitely doing that. I'm definitely doing that. It might have to be a TV taping, which is all right, but they are a little long because they do like a good 4 weeks worth of episodes, and maybe even more. I'm not sure. And you kind of get to see the same people a few times. So I think I'd rather go to a house show, to be honest. I think I'd rather go to a house show where you just see everyone once, but you see more of the roster, and you build towards the main event. If you go to a TV tape and then you have like Volta come out like near the start, but then he'll come back in the middle, and then he'll probably come back again at the end. So you tend to see, like, you know, some of the same people again. I suppose it's not a problem, really, as long as it's the people you want to see. Right, Dakota and Raquel talking about how they've had, you know, slight disagreements, but they're friends, and friends are allowed to do that. Here's Everrise. They're saying to Raquel Gonzalez that she's a champ, and they said to Dakota, you, not so much. Everrise Live. Friend of the show. Yeah. You want to take a swing at me? Oh, she did. Oh, he's gone down and he spilt his drink. There was actual liquid in that cup. Oh, that's a shame. You want to take a swing at me? They're all right, they are. I like Everrise. They're all right in the ring as well. That's a cool mask, innit? That's a cool mask. That's a cool mask. We have seen that mask before. It's a bit like a cycle helmet in a way, isn't it? But it's cool. Everrise are better than the Young Bucks. Is Adam Cole ever going to come out of catering? Oh, I think he's all right. It's not. I think in NXT, if they're not using him, it's for a reason. Maybe he's just having a bit of a break at the moment. Legado. Del Fantasma. If this is the main roster, I'd be a bit more worried, yeah, but... I like Everrise, says Dom 15. They're cool, aren't they? There is no world in which Dakota beats Raquel, says David. Leo says, I should not tell my girlfriend about me thinking Dakota Kai is fit. No. Because that's just a weird conversation to have anyway. Leo, what did you talk about? I want to know. What did you talk about in your KFC McDonald's date? I love the fact you went to KFC and then straight after you're like, should we go to another fast food restaurant? Or see, when you get older, you'll do a pub crawl, and that's where you go. Oh, there's some great ones round by me. Pub crawl is where you start in one pub, you have a drink, and then you go over the road to the other pub, have a drink. A bit further down the road, you'll be another pub, you'll have a drink, and you just keep going. There's a run down by me. It's quite a long road, but there's 14 pubs from start to finish. Probably not now. One of the sad things about the pandemic, and even before the pandemic, was, it's so cheap to buy alcohol at supermarkets, that pubs were struggling and pubs were closing at like a record rate. So I haven't actually been down that road in Stourbridge for a long, long time. But I remember doing it one week with a weekend. My cousin came over and I was like, I know what we can do. And we ended up doing this pub crawl. Messy. I probably wouldn't be able to do it now. It's probably half of them are shut. But when you're older, you'll be doing that, young man. You'll be doing that. But right now, you're probably right to do fast food crawls. KFC to McDonald's to Burger King. Trying to think what other fast food places we've got. Those are the big ones. Wendy's coming soon. Days, you just disrespected the tribal chief. Did I? They grow up fast, says Deception Hunter. Jacko says, how about the candy shop, says Brian. That's what you should do. If you are determined to sing Candy Shop to her, at least take her there. We talked about music, YouTube, and WWE. That's not bad. That's alright. She might not be into WWE. She might be, I don't know. I think music and YouTube are pretty good subjects. Do I shop at Waitrose? No. We used to. Because that was one of the big supermarkets in Stourbridge, but it's a bit expensive in Waitrose. Right, we are underway with Thatcher and Ciampa against Legado del Fantasma. NXT tag roster is pretty much all right, says Braden. Ciampa in control, tags in Timothy Thatcher. Once we go to the next commercial break, we will do the halftime scores. When do you think Ciampa will move to the main roster? When do I think Ciampa will move to the main roster? I don't know that he will. I mean, he's been there for years and years and years, hasn't he? So, I don't know. I don't know if he is going to, or if he's just going to be someone that sticks around and, works with the people they bring him. I mean, you'd think he would eventually go, but I can't imagine his... Oh, look at the blood. Raul Mendoza got blood coming down his nose. Yeah, I mean, he's not getting younger, Tommaso Ciampa. He's only getting older, and I don't know. Unless they're going to give him really good creative. I think he said he's not interested. Kicks coming in by Raul to Timothy Thatcher, and Thatcher just taking him. He grabs the leg of Raul Mendoza. Did you actually steal the planogram from Walmart that you took in the episode of the Toy Hunt stealing Walmart 1 to 3? Do you know what? I don't know, is the answer. I honestly can't remember. I can't remember if we actually took it or if we ended up just putting it back after, like... I honestly don't know. That was back in 2018, and I genuinely can't remember. I mean, I don't have it to hand, so I'm guessing that I put it back. But I can't 100% tell you. I honestly don't know. If I had to bet my life on it, I'd say I put it back, but I genuinely can't remember. Fun fact, Ciampa has been on the main roster with Gargano, but he got injured and WWE changed their mind on the call-up. Bad creative, of course. Planet Dan, ASMR, shout out to you. Coaster Maniacs, shout out to you. Hope you are well. Anthony says, I hope you didn't talk about Raw. She probably fell asleep. Yes, you said Volta is the best thing. Oh, I stand by that. Roman is the be-all and end-all. He puts the bananas on your table. Listen, I stand by Volta. I stand by Volta, because even if Roman wants to come at me, he'll have to get through Volta first. I mean, I'm not sure if that's true. I'm just hoping that it's true. But I do love that guy. I love both of them. Did you hear that WWE NXT sent one half of Indi Hartwell back to India? Apparently they didn't think he was TV ready or something. I didn't quite understand that. I didn't quite understand what that meant. But, yeah, a bit disappointing. I don't know that... I mean, I suppose these two guys look alright, but I think Indi Hartwell looked like a tag team. Whereas I don't know that the two guys with Jinder now... Well, I know they're not. So, it's not the biggest problem in the world. It's not even really a problem, but I do feel sorry for that guy. I can't remember his name, to be honest. Did you hear the rumours that Usos and Roman have a group chat? It's not a rumour. Roman said on a little video he put out that there's a family group chat. Which I don't know that I was that surprised by that, to be honest. But he was working in the gym. Someone tagged me in it. I can't remember who it was. But I did retweet it. And he started doing these little videos after matches where he'll be in his home gym and he'll just put his phone on and he'll record and he'll be, on a treadmill or doing some kind of cardio work. And he'll just be talking. He'll be like, so you doubted me. You didn't think I'd come through. But once again, the tribal chief has to show the world what he's capable of. And it's just him talking, whilst he's working out. And they're a couple of minutes long. And they're quite interesting. They're good. Just furthers his character. Gives you a bit more insight into his mindset. And, in there he said, Jimmy, we'll sort out our problems on Friday. Don't text me. Don't hit me up in the group chat, the WhatsApp group chat. I'm not interested. I don't want to hear from you. We'll do it on my show on Friday. And I think he kind of ended it that way. But they're good, man. I like those little clips. I don't really know why more wrestlers don't do it, but I suppose Roman can do it because he must have, incredible creative control. Whereas I should imagine a lot of other superstars don't have that. So they probably run the risk of getting in serious trouble if they say something that's not really in line with where their character's going, because they don't really know where their characters are going, because they don't know what the creative has got planned. So I suppose it's a bit of a nightmare. But a nightmare that Roman doesn't have. Did you see the beautiful tribute to Slapjack on Talking Smack. Do you mean New Jack? Because I'm not sure that anyone has ever got New Jack and Slapjack confused in the history of wrestling ever until now. So we have witnessed history tonight. Getting your halftime scores, because we did just get to commercial break and I ignored it. So we'll do it now. Get in your halftime scores. SmackDown is and always will be The Rock's show, says Jim. Halftime scores. Get them in. I know it's not commercial break, but get them in. I missed the commercial break because I'm an idiot. Brony says 7. Dylan says 8. Normal Guy says 7. 9.5 says Brandon. 6 says Dave in real life. 8 says Robin. 7 says Normal Guy. 7.75 says John. 7.5 says Big Boy Dally. Brad G says 7.5. Austin says 7. Anthony said, Days, do you agree Rock Roman doesn't need the title? No, it doesn't need the title. I think you could argue that it would be bigger if it had the title. Because then, you know, could The Rock be WWE champion in 2022, 2023? So you might argue that it gets bigger if the belt's on the line. But no, it doesn't need it. It's not as if that match is like people are going to be like, I'd watch it if it had the belt involved. Like, people are watching that match and they're gobbling it up like, do you know what I mean? There are things that I could say there that are very not PG friendly. Let's put it that way. They are gobbling that up like Leo and Ethel eating McDonald's. That's my PG version. Leo gives it a 7. Coaster Maniacs says, it's amazing to see how far Roman's promos have come from when he had his run with Cena years ago. Would love to see how he'd do it now with the tribal chief against the face that ran the place. I agree. Shout out to you, Coast Maniacs. Appreciate the support. We said similar. We said the same. I think he came out second best during those exchanges the first time. I think Cena definitely got the better of Roman. I think Roman was... I still don't think that he's going to have the wit to be able to go back and forth with Cena. But I think what he is going to have now is the composure. And I think that he's going to be a lot more relaxed. And I think that he might even be able to get better prepared. So I would love to see those exchanges as well. I'd love to see that match. And what with, isn't Cena just one title away from breaking the Flair record? I mean, what a story that would be. Cena versus Roman. Cena versus Roman. Title on the line. If Cena wins, he becomes the all-time record holder for title reigns. And if Roman wins, you know, he's just added another legend, another scalp to this incredible championship run. Win-win. Promos would be fire. Absolutely sign me up. Foore says bonkers. 7.25 says salary. 7 says Jay. We got lots of 7s. 7 says Sunny. $8.15 million man's out of 10. 7.757. Days, do you agree? Rock Roman. Oh, we spoke about that one. 6.25 says Vincent. Dan C says 7. Labria says 9.99. Fabulous Disaster says 7. Brandon says 9. Adam says 7. Rated R Wrestling with an 8.297. Basti with a 7 as well. Shout out to everyone that's joining us. So we're still underway with this match. We've got 45 minutes to go. I don't quite know how I rate this show. I think it's been pretty solid. There's been moments I've really enjoyed. Really enjoyed the first match and that move. That move. The Everrise thing I really enjoyed as well. Little video package seemed all right. $1 Million Man, would have liked a bit more from that, to be honest. This match is okay. It's not really grabbing me that much, but... Draping DDT by Ciampa. And only gets a 2. So, strikes by Timothy Thatcher. And here's Grizzled Young Veterans with Ciampa on the edge of the ring. So, Ciampa's been attacked by Grizzled Young Veterans. And that should do it for Legado del Fantasma. Days, if you go to WWE's channel and watch Paul Never Doubts Roman, it is hilarious. Paul Never Doubts Roman. Okay. I think Shawn is watching NXT because he just tweeted about it. Oh, yeah. He doesn't he help like put it all together? I don't quite know what Shawn does now. I don't know if he is working like exclusively with NXT UK or how it works, but he's all over NXT and NXT UK. All over. We got Bobby Fish. He says, this is all to do with Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan. They put me out of action at War Games. I'm back now. There's a debt. Oh, he wants to start with Pete Dunne. Bobby Fish says, you're saying that you're the match that no one wants, but I find that funny. Ooh, look at that picture. He said, I'm finding that funny because it's the only match I want. That's good. 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 We haven't heard, or I haven't heard, what he's got to say about the end of Undisputed Era. Like, I do find it a bit strange that he's come back and he's talking about Pete Dunne, and he's talking about Oney Lorcan, and he's talking about Danny Burch. What about the fact that the faction you was in has exploded, and, like, what are your thoughts on that? Like, I would be asking him them questions. Bobby Fish, you're back. The landscape has changed. Let's get your thoughts. I want to know. What does he think about Adam Cole? What does he think about Roderick Strong? Has he heard from Roderick Strong? What's Roderick Strong gone on to do? Like, I know, like, there's only so much he's going to be able to say. But that shouldn't stop us from asking the question. Just seems a bit strange. Do you know what I mean? Like, he was in Undisputed Era. He's been away. He comes back, and now it's like, Pete Dunne, I'm coming for you. It's like, okay, yeah, wonderful. But what about Undisputed Era? Are you still BFFs with everyone? What's going on? Leo, Red Bull or Monster? I say Red Bull. I don't have a preference, to be honest. We just always have Monster in the house. I was saying this, like maybe Red Bull would be better because it's in smaller cans. So I don't know that I have a preference. I really would recommend that at 11 years old you avoid energy drinks. They're not good for you. I don't drink. The only time I ever drink them is during streams. It's the only time I ever drink them. And I don't touch them during the day. I always drink Coke, I used to drink Coke with vanilla, and I don't touch it anymore. I don't drink that at all. Now I just drink Coke Zero, which I think is kind of like Diet Coke, but I swear it tastes different. I swear it tastes different. If you used to put like Diet Coke and Coke Zero in 2 glasses, I could tell them apart. Because I tried a Coke Zero around Christmas, a Diet Coke around Christmas time. I was like, But then I did know that it was Diet Coke. I did know that. So maybe I'm pre-programmed to be like, ugh. I don't know. If anyone knows what the differences are, feel free to let us know, because both of them claim the exact same things, like 0 sugar and all this kind of stuff. Same great Coke taste, but with 0 sugar. Daze, do you think fans at Money in the Bank WWE would do a same night cash in? They probably could, yeah. I mean, we've seen it many times, so I would never rule it out. Have you ever visited Sandcastle Water Park in Blackpool? I don't think so. Is that the one that's like over the road? Because I think there's a water park that's just over the road from Pleasure Beach. I've never been there, no. But in fairness, I've never been to any water park around Blackpool, so even if it's not that one, it's still the same answer. The card declined. We've got the way. Unpaid expense. A purchase made at a florist 3 weeks ago. She wouldn't know this info.
Wait a minute. Did Ember and Chelsea get those flowers from Dexter, or did they come from you? Candice? Candice? Do you know what this means? Do you know what this means? He still loves me!
He still loves me. Indi Hartwell's run off saying he still loves me. Beth Phoenix is loving it. I love Beth Phoenix. She brings so much to the commentary table. She's so good. It's so good to have like a woman on the commentary table. But she's like, oh, I knew it was true love. Oh. We got Johnny and we've got Austin Theory. That segment was all right. I mean, it serves a purpose, doesn't it? You know, now Indy's going to be back interested in Dexter. Who beats the unbeatable? Who stops the unstoppable? You do, Johnny. Here we go. The way. Right, we've got one more match, I think. One more. Wow. Look at Jessi. That's a good look for her. That's a good look. She looks amazing. Right, we've got Aliyah. Hey, sorry. Baby, I got your money, don't you worry. Sorry. Baby, I got your money. Here she is. Hey, sorry. Baby, I got your money. Days, the Paul Never Doubts Roman vid is an interview after Backlash, and the lady asks Roman for a word, and Roman said, I bet you would. And Paul said, what a bad question. You're flirting with me. It's hilarious. Okay. Dave Meltzer said he thinks Brock will stay retired. Oh, that's interesting. Jacko said, Days, I don't like to nag, but can you check Twitter? I tagged you in something regarding Vega. I'm not sure of the source. I saw it from a wrestling page on Insta. What is it? Just let us know, Jacko. Just let us know. Take the glory, Jacko. Just tell us. Drop that knowledge, that insight. Take that glory. Brendan said, Canadians to host 2,500 fans. Yeah, we are starting to see fans coming back. This is the colour red versus the colour green, guys. It's red versus green. Aliyah from behind. Jessi on the outside. Do you know what? I've only just seen what Robert Stone's wearing. I didn't even notice. Robert Stone. It's like the Godfather's son. Look at that outfit. That's lovely bridge escape there from Saray. Saray in the corner. I love the screaming. I don't know who it is that's screaming, but I do love it. I think it's Aliyah. I'm into that. I'm into her. Like, reminds me of like female tennis players, you know. I'm alright with that. Wrestling's too quiet. If I was wrestling, I'd be like, take this, you. Duh! Duh! I would have run away before the bell started, in all fairness, but in my mind, I'm swearing like a sailor. Yeah, even Saray's like, yeah! This is good, man. Bit of energy, bit of noise. It's getting me pumped up. Missile drop kick by Saray. That's been the story of the match for me. Hard hitting action with screaming. 1, 2, 3. Saray wins. This is literally the two main colours that colourblind people just can't see. It's good stuff. Have you tried Vanilla Coke? Yeah, I used to be a big fan. I don't know if you can get it so much anymore, but I gotta be honest, I don't think we could find it. So for a while we went back to Coke Zero. Then we found Coke Vanilla again, and I was like, it's horrible. I don't know what happened. I think now it just tastes so sweet. Like, oh, my face was melting. So I'm not the biggest fan anymore. Saray reminds me of Asuka a little bit. She reminds me a little of Thunder Rosa, with the way that she really lays in her, like, the missile drop kicks in particular. Those drop kicks, the snap on them. We've got Ember and Shotzi. Clear Coke. We did have that. It used to be called Tab or something. We didn't have it for long. Tab? Pepsi Tab? That's what she said. That's what she said. Here they are, look. Cringe row. They've got their own, they're in action next. Got a balaclava on. Guys, Peacock has got it all. but we can't get it in the UK, I don't think. Jacko said, it states, and I quote, Zelina was seen with Simone Johnson training at the Performance Center, not for the first time. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we know that Vega's been at the Performance Center. So if she's like been doing some stuff with Simone Johnson, that's interesting. Obviously, Simone's going to be a big star, the daughter of The Rock. But she's got... the problem is people aren't going to give her much chance, I don't think. I think she needs to come in with an already pretty decent, like, you know, foundation. Because straight away people are going to go, you know, this is the daughter of The Rock. Let's see what she can do. Hopefully she's got his charisma. It might not matter so much if she can't, like, do loads in the ring, if she's got his charisma. But, I don't know, there's not many people in the world that have got his charisma. And there's no guarantee that it would have been passed on to her, but hopefully it has. Hit Row versus Death Row. Why can Raw not be like NXT? Raw was terrible yesterday. The Pound Shop Jade Cargill, says Robin. Zelina is backstage wearing a headset. Austin said, Bray tweeted, miss me yet, hashtag zombies. I miss him a lot. William said Raw was great. What are you talking about? Like Charlotte, she will just be the daughter. She will just be the daughter, which is a shame. Put Simone in the tribal family against her dad. I don't know. She's going to need a lot of work. To my knowledge, she hasn't got any wrestling background. Like, she hasn't been doing it on the indies or anything. I don't quite know how it's happened. I don't know if she just woke up and went, Dad, I want to be a wrestler. Can you sort it for me? Or what's happened. I genuinely don't know, so I'm not throwing shade. But to my knowledge, she hasn't been at Shimmer. And she hasn't been, you know, all these different women's promotions going around the world. So I don't quite... I mean, in fairness, she is still very young. So I don't quite know. I mean, maybe she decided to be a wrestler. And for people that aren't The Rock's daughter, you would have to go to the indie scene. But because she's The Rock's daughter, you just go straight to the Performance Center. Either way, it's going to take her a long time. Daisy, are you tired? No, I'm feeling all right. Raw wasn't great, says Mark Clark. AJ said, have you heard reports suggesting WWE could be doing a hair versus hair match? Harley mentioned it earlier. Bailey and Bianca. Days, imagine the pop someone would get by beating Roman. If Roman held it till 2023, Roman would have retired Bryan, beat Seth, Cena, Rock, Brock, Owens, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Yeah, it'd be huge. Right. Oh, yeah, forgot about this. Diamond mine. Pressure makes diamonds. I'm into this. I'm into MMA. Still don't know what it is. And we still don't know what it is. Right. I don't know who they're facing. Diamond Mine, yep. Top dollar. Mountain Dew Zero Sugar is the worst. Days, I should get my granddad a garden gnome or a hanging bush. It's the weirdest question I've ever been asked. Should I get my granddad a garden gnome or a hanging bush? You've definitely come to the right place to ask that question. I don't think there's anywhere else on the internet that you can ask that question and get a straight up honest answer. It's hanging bush. It's hanging bush. I'm sorry, it's hanging bush. Hanging bush. Oh, that would be my wrestling name. That would be my finishing move. Wrestling Days. Oh, it's got him in the hanging bush. Done, mate. That might be Tony Storm's finishing move. Hit row. That's all I've got in my head. Hit row. Hit row, hit row. Imagine if Conor McGregor is part of the diamond mine. Yeah, he's gonna be. He's absolutely gonna be. Get her a hanging gnome. Oh, that is out the box thinking right there, Jimmy. Jimmy! A hanging gnome, yeah. Or a garden bush, which it doesn't work as well, does it? A hanging gnome. Like a gnome that's just had enough. These dudes better be damn good at wrestling, says Seth. Well, look. We've got Top Dollar. Penny Pincher. I don't know. I can't remember what they're called. I remember Top Dollar. What would your wrestling song be? Vince's. Because then everyone would get excited and they'd be like, oh, is it Vince? Oh, CM Punk's. I gave my all, I came to see. No! Burn! I mean, look, we're going to disappoint people anyway. We might as well do it right at the start as soon as I walk out. Right, well, there we go. Top Dollar. Hit Row wins. Hit Row. Oh god, I hate this group. I can't stand this group. I absolutely hate them. I hate them. Hate them. I'm trying so hard. I find them so annoying. They just grate on me. I can't even get my head around it. I go on Twitter and there's people that hate them. There's people that like them. I look at them. They're just so cringe. I just can't get on with them. Just cannot get on with them at all. If you don't know, now you know. They just come across so fake, and it just comes across as they don't come across as being original or innovative or interesting or entertaining or anything. They just come across as like just fake, horrible, trying to be cool. Just horrible. It's horrible. But if you like it, fair play. Each to their own. Music is like... Wrestling is like music. There's lots of different things for different people. Someone might like Irish jigs. Someone might like bagpipe music. Each to their own. We're backstage with William Regal. Shotzi and Ember versus Dakota and Raquel. Yeah, we've got this tag match. There's got to be another overrun. It's got to be. We've only got 20 minutes. Right, Bronson and Johnny. That's cool, isn't it? Look, they're showing us the cage. Ooh, that's good, isn't it? That looks cool. Look at that. They should just show us that. Don't go to commercial break. I just want to watch the cage come down. The cage coming down is awesome. I'm into that. The run over will be 9 minutes. Shout out to you, Brad. I'd quite happily watch the cage just slowly come down and watch them bolt it together. I wish it was the old blue cage, but we haven't had that in a long time. But that's cool, isn't it? It's such a clever way of like setting the cage up. It's good. A new tag team needs to emerge. The Hanging Gnomes. AJ said next week's NXT is going to be great. 3 amazing matches. Damn. I've been into this show. I thought it's been a really good show tonight. Well, I say really good, but I've been entertained. Still think the highlight is that move by Toni Storm, though. That move by Toni Storm. Whew. Poor Zoey Stark. Lucky to be walking around. I'm excited to see what WWE will do with Dana and Mandy. They've got a new theme, says Jacko. Is this for the title? Asks Salary. I think it is, yes. I think it's a steel cage match for the belt, yes. Anthony said Days WWE have announced Ricochet versus Sheamus in a Gotcha Hat match. Gotcha Hat. Brian said, did you notice that both of the jobbers that hit road beef were both former 205 Live Cruiserweight champs? Did you know what? I didn't even see who they were. I didn't see who they were. So I can't say I did. They were former Cruiserweight champions. There's not been that many. Who was it? Did they even get announced? I didn't even see them get announced. If anyone knows who they were, feel free to let us know. Who did Hit Row? Who did Hit Row just beat? Change the matchbox. I'll do that. I'll do that right now. Cage match. Main event. Gargano versus Reed. I couldn't remember his name. Watching the cage is better than watching Raw. Very true, heel Santa. Never a truer word has been spoken. Completely agree. I'd sooner watch the cage lowering than watch Raw. I don't understand why WWE won't do a documentary on Benoit, like just on his in-ring. Nah. Because he's killed his family. Like, they don't need to be associated or want to be associated with that. No. Right. You've got to tell the whole story. Warrior. Yes. Just plug that straight into my veins. Just plug it straight into my veins. Ladies and gentlemen, you're cordially invited to the greatest moment of your lives. The world premiere live on NXT next week. Frankie Monnet. The in-ring debut of Frankie Monnet. Cameron Grimes, Ted DiBiase, face off. Well, I thought that's what we were getting this week. Karrion Kross. And Balor next week. It is time for our main event. The WWE doesn't want to touch a man. Unfathomable, says JP. Here's Bronson. This is such a good video. Here comes Bronson. PW Insider Elite says David Finlay has signed with WWE. Okay, Bronson Reed making his way up the steps inside the steel cage. This is going to be good. This is going to be a really good match. Let's go. The Colossal. Okay, so Bronson Reed inside the ring. We're waiting for Johnny Gargano. Velveteen Dream will adapt his character to the main roster, says CB3 Amazing. I liked it when he was the thick boy. I guess he still kind of is. Brony said this is going to be fun. Okay, Johnny and Austin Theory making their way down. He broke Mr. Regal's favourite pencil. Regal had enough. He had enough. Austin Theory, Johnny Gargano making their way down. I tell you, it's not often you see a cage match in NXT. This is pretty special. I don't think there's been that many even still. I remember the Rhea Ripley, Raquel Gonzalez one. And there was a Balor Samoa Joe one, was there? But honestly, there's not been that many. Was Nakamura in one? I can't remember. Right, North American Championship. I do like the fact when it's a title match, you've got the title on the screen. They do big introductions. I'm into that. Bronson Reed. £330. Kyle O'Reilly has posted some new merch, says Leo. JP says, I don't think Reed is going to win this match. If he doesn't, then what is the point? Well, you could, I mean, the point is he's got the opportunity. So, it's a cage match. Two great competitors. Either could win. I'm down for this. I genuinely, I don't know who's going to win. I mean, if Bronson wins this, I could see that. I don't know. I sort of hope he doesn't. I like John. I like the way, and I like Johnny, and I think him having the title is cool. And he runs over to the door, and he's desperate to get out the door. Half his body's out already. Johnny just pegged it to the door. Half his body got out, but Bronson Reed drags him back in. Mike says, Days SNLVW pay-per-view this Saturday is $97.99 in Canada. SNLVW. What is that? SNLVW. What is that? I don't know what that is. Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think. SNLVW pay-per-view. I mean, whatever it is, $97.99. I mean, I don't know how that translates into pounds, but I should imagine it's still horrific. That is crazy, bud. Nice. Just pushed him over. I thought it was a shoulder tackle or something, but he just literally pushed him. Smart move by Johnny. Right, we've got Bronson Reed with Gargano. Gargano hurled into the side of the cage. Bronson Reed in control. It doesn't matter what it is, Days. Just pay the money to watch it. Saturday Night Live, Volkswagen. Guys, that's entertainment in Canada. They just sit around and they just look at pictures of Volkswagens for $90 odd. He almost went through the cage. Bobby Fish, Pete Dunne next week. Pretty moody being Saturday Night Live wrestling, says Sonny. I don't know what it is. SNLVW. Fish versus Dunne next week. Bronson Reed has got Johnny against the cage and he's actually that's good. That's good. I like that. He's actually pushing back into Johnny, squashing him against the cage. CB3 amazing. Shout out to you, my friend. Oh, Johnny trying to go. He's trying to do go through the ropes. He was trying to spear Bronson. Plants him down. Draping DDT by Bronson Reed. Saturday Night Live Wrestling Edition. Is that what it is? I mean, I would actually believe that if that's what it was. On his feet. Chop block. Chop block by Johnny. Johnny going over to the cage, climbing up. Oh, wow. Bit of a moonsault, bit of a springboard moonsault by Johnny. Bronson Reed's down and Johnny is unloading. Maybe it's Shawn Michaels drives the Saturday Night Live Volkswagen, but I still wouldn't pay to watch it. Saturday Night Live Volunteer Wrestling. That'd be amazing. Wow, Johnny on the shoulders of Bronson Reed. Oh! 1, 2. Just a 2. Some big power moves in this. Yeah, some big moves already. Bronson Reed going up top. And Austin Theory is climbing up on the other side. Bronson Reed a little bit distracted. And Johnny super kicks Bronson's legs. Picture-in-picture break, guys. Vulture Watch sounds like something my ex-wife and her friends would be involved in. Saturday Night Live Voodoo Wrestling. I want to know what this thing is. What is it? What was it called? Let's have a look. SNLVW. SNLVW? Doesn't come back with anything. What is this thing? SNLVW? Literally comes back with no results. Dude, I don't know what you're thinking of buying for $90-odd, but I would urge that you don't buy it. I really would urge that you don't buy it. Saturday Night Live Volta workout, says Cheeseman Wrestling. SNLVW pay-per-view. SNLVW pay-per-view. Looks like there aren't many great matches for your search. But you know what? That could be a flipping Raw review, couldn't it? Right there. If you search for WWE Raw, I think you get the same message as well. It looks like there aren't that many great matches for your search. I mean, honestly, look at the result that comes back. Basically, if you type that in, you break the internet. Stockholm 1.0 hashtag dash GF ID. Even the internet's going, oh, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? Look at that. I don't know. I'm going to press it. I don't know where this is leading us, but I'll press it. Where are we off to now? We're going to a dark part of the internet. Look at this. What the freak is it? Why is it on my phone? I'm probably being tracked by the government right now after pressing that. Look at this. This is an actual website that you can find on the internet. What does this mean? What does any of it mean? It's just page after page after page of just, look at this. Someone's typed all that out. Well, there we go. We're none the wiser. But at least we got to see a little dark... Guys, we went to the dark web. That's where we've been. If anyone says, how was NXT? Just be like, yeah, it was all right, but... we did go to the dark web. Right, we are back from our commercial break. We've got Johnny and Bronson Reed, of course, in the ring. And Bronson Reed over by the side of the cage. The problem with the cage coming down like this, it really wobbles at the bottom now, doesn't it? Like, they probably should find a way of securing it a little bit better. NXT. It means you're a pervert. Oh, dude, I don't need websites to tell me that. That was nice. Johnny actually dropped a drop kick, and Austin jumped at the same time. So Bronson couldn't go into the cage, or the cage wouldn't give. That was good. Bronson was trapped. Days Impact is going to have a rough few weeks. Lots of contracts are up. They are going to be raided. Hurlin Jiren. Shout out to you. Right. Bronson has got Johnny and slingshots him into the side of the cage. Austin trying to send some words of encouragement to Johnny. Johnny on the shoulders of Bronson Reed. Some elbows. Oh! Samoan drop. Samoan drop from the second rope. Wow. Samoan drop from the second rope by Bronson Reed. Ooh. Ooh. Shoulder up by Johnny. It's a good shot, isn't it? That aerial shot's really cool. Reminds me of WrestleMania 10. I like when my theory comes on TV because Days gives me lots of shout-outs. My theory. Me theory. Austin, shout out to you. I hope Rosemary stays in Impact. She is the best thing about that promotion. Says Jim. Right. Oh, Johnny. Wow. Tell you what, we've had some explosive moments tonight. Johnny was like smashing Bronson into the side of the cage. He then jumped, grabbed him, and turned it into a power bomb. He used his momentum. It looked really good. That was good. It's a good match. It's good. Are you a face or a heel? Tweener. Austin trying to drag Johnny out of the cage. Bronson's got his leg. Johnny's being stretched right now. But, oh! Wonderful. Seated senton. Theory closes the door. Put the bolt across. Put the bolt across. Put the bolt across. Ah, Bronson smashes it open. That gives Johnny chance to do a super kick, though. Oh, big right hand by Bronson Reed. Reed has got Johnny up. He's holding on to the side of the cage. Reverse Rana. Reverse Rana. I mean, that should be it. I'm so tired of seeing Reverse Ranas just be in matches. That should be it. Bronson should not be moving now. That move should just be like, done. Game over. You just dropped a man backwards. He's 330 pounds. He just went backwards, head first. You just spiked a man backwards on his head. It's game over. But now, it's just like the modern clothesline. I don't get it. Oh, Bronson hurls Johnny into the side of the cage. Reed trying to get over to the door. The match does continue. Reed on his hands and knees going over to the door. Oh, Theory managing to slam it right into the head of Bronson Reed. Johnny Gargano. DDT from the top. 1, 2. Oh, shoulder up. It's a good match, this is. Good match. Johnny is crawling his way over. Reed fell over nothing. Here we go. Johnny climbing up. He's trying to escape. He's trying to climb up and over the cage. Haven't seen too many attempts at that, actually, in this. Headbutt by Johnny, and again. Oh, I think that was strikes, actually. It looked like he was going for headbutts. Oh, Bronson's got Johnny. Very high. Oh! Wasn't from the top. It was from the middle rope. This is awesome, is the chant from the crowd. It is a good match. It is very good. How long we got? A few minutes. Is Bronson Reed going to try and climb up and over the cage? I wasn't really expecting that. Austin Theory has really got involved a lot here. He's climbing up, trying to stop Bronson Reed from escaping. Yeah, it is a handicap match. Bronson headbutts Johnny. Johnny goes down. Theory goes down. Reed on the top rope. Ooh, big splash by Reed. He closes the door. He's going to go for a splash off the top. Ooh. 1, 2, 3. Bronson Reed wins. 2 big splashes by Bronson Reed. Wow. New champ. New NXT North American champion, Bronson Reed. It's a good match. It's a good match. Great match, says Brony. Reed wins. New champion. New champ. Bronson is crying. Boo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I've got a belt. Boo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I mean, I'd never do that to his face. But I feel quite safe over here in England. Just showing some replays. Taboy said he doesn't deserve it. Oh. Some good spots in this match. Some good spots. It's a little bit tricky at times with cage matches because obviously they can be a little limiting. But I must admit, I do like the fact they didn't just constantly try to escape. I remember rewatching the Bret Owen Hart SummerSlam one, which is always regarded as one of like the greatest cage matches ever. Now I remember we did a watch along for it, and I think it was SummerSlam 94, and I was a bit disappointed, to be honest, because it was literally just like half an hour of like each one trying to climb out and over the cage. They were just constantly trying to escape, and when you know who wins, doesn't really make for a great match. I'm sure it was great, like, if you didn't know who wins. I'm sure it's, you know, great. But if you do know who wins, it's not a great match to revisit. I think this would be a good match to revisit. Especially if you like seeing big guys cry. Because there was some tears. There was some waterworks at the end. I've won a belt. Grow up. Grow up. Australians are happy. The Samoans are happy. Getting your scores. Austin said the Bret Owen cage match wasn't that great. It was fine. Well, I do want to just say, if you've never seen it, I bet it is great. And if you don't know who wins, I bet it is great. But when you know who wins and you go back and you rewatch it, it doesn't hold up. It's not aged very well. Because it is literally the both of them just trying to climb up and escape, and that's it. Get in your scores. Get in your scores. 100 out of 100, says Leo. 825, says Dylan. 1 out of 10, says DKFF. Real says 7 out of 10. Let him in says 8 out of 10. Desmond says 725. Normal guy says 8. Austin says 725. Brad G says 8. Jadam says Bronson Reed wins the North American Championship. Sonny Wolf says 8. David Connolly says well deserved. Oh, look at these. Got some good scores. Big Boy Dally says 8.5. Ricky KV says 775. Dom15 says 825. Trey Gaming says 8. Ant Washington says 775. Laurie says 787. Brendan says 10 out of 10. Sean Reset says 9 out of 10. Brony says 7.25 out of 10. Shamar says 8.5. Bonkers says 7. Robin813 says 8.5. David Conley says 7.5. Love the show. It was better than Raw. Shaquem says 7.25. Mark Clark says 9. Nico Guy says 8. Heel Santa says 8. Jordan Dingle says 7. So pleased for Bronson. He deserves it, says Mark Clark. 7.8 says Laurie. 7.25. 8. 851. Calvin says 2. Salary says 8. James Chadwick says 9. Leo123. Leo the Lothario gives it 100. NXT is better than Raw. JB17 plays says 8.25. Brony says 7.25. J14 says 7.25. Bronson Belair. I think this is a good show. I'm definitely in the 7s. I mean, there's not tons that I didn't. There's not tons that I would have changed. I just think by and large it was a pretty average, solid, pretty average episode, but then with a really good main event. Like a really good main event. So, I'll go 7. I'll go 7.5. 7.5. I saw Austin with his 7.25. So, no one can claim that me and Austin have got the same score tonight. Not even Austin himself. We all saw the truth. He went 7.25. I'll go 7.5. I think that this was pretty solid. If it didn't have, like, that main event, we'd probably be down at, like, a 7. Something like this. But I thought it was a good main event. I think definitely influences and pushes the score up. But, yeah, it's pretty good show. Pretty good show. I gotta be honest, I'd probably go higher than lower. Like, I'm thinking, like, 7.75 more than 7.25, personally. Because there's not tons that I would have changed. But it was good. It was solid. And it was a million times better than Raw. Mike says 8.75. Austin says go lower. Go lower, Days. No. 9.65 says Brandon. Bye, Days, says Trey Gaming 22. Robin says 10 out of 10. I love the main event, says Leo. Okay. Hit Row faced Davari and Toni Nese. Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Logan says 7.75. Shaquem says 7.75. WWE will bring up Hit Row and put them with Eva to torture Days. Lucas says 8.5. How was the dates? People want to know, Leo. People want to know. It went well. What we've learned is they went to KFC. He said, listen, I've had a great time. I just don't want this evening to end. I know a little place. Do you want to come along? Join me, you know? We'll go one more place and then we'll call it a night. What do you think about that? And she's like, Leo, I would love that. And so they went to McDonald's. So they did KFC. They did McDonald's. We know they spoke about YouTube. They spoke about WWE. They spoke about music. There was a chicken joke that was used. What do you call a funny chicken? It's a comedy hen. It's a great line. It's a great line. I mean, Leo is a little hero. There's no two ways about it. He is a little hero. We are fully behind Leo. We wish him all the best with his dating endeavours. And Leo, if ever you need any more advice, I mean, it seems like you've got this, Leo. It seems like you've got this. But if you ever need any more advice, this community is right here for you. We are right here for you, Leo. As we are for anyone that needs advice in the future. We are a very powerful community. I hope you know this. Yes, we're passionate about wrestling, but there's so much more that we can do as well. There's so much more that we can achieve. And we are doing it one date at a time. And that is it for us tonight. We are back tomorrow for AEW. Of course, got SmackDown, UFC on the horizon, all of that jazz. So, big thank you to everyone that joined us tonight. I hope you enjoyed NXT. I can't see why you wouldn't. I thought it was a very, very good show. And as we said, we will be back tomorrow for AEW. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.